from the Great Western Forum, it's Los Angeles Kings hockey. Tonight, the Kings open a 3-game homestand and look for their 3rd win of the season over the Winnipeg Jets. Hi, everybody. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Do you like high-scoring games and a lot of goals? We might see one tonight. The Kings and the Jets have allowed the most goals of any teams in the National Hockey League. Now, the Jets are winless in their last 9. They have lost 7 straight on the road. And, Jim, the Kings have got to take advantage of teams like that here at home.
You talk about being in control of your own destiny. The next 3 games for the Kings, the Jets, the Oilers, and the Stars against teams that are below the Kings in the standings. Tonight against the Winnipeg Jets, so important for the Kings to control the puck, possession of the puck. You can't turn it over against the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets don't have many scorers, but the scorers they do have, the guys like Solani, Zhamnov, and Kachuk. If you turn it over, they're going to kill you.
Well, you mentioned Alexi Zhamnov. He doesn't get a lot of publicity playing in Winnipeg, but Jamnov, who wears number 10, is 3rd in the NHL in scoring.
His most consistent season by far. Jamnov has always been known for his skill. He's an outstanding player. See a great give and go here the other night against the Mighty Ducks, and Jamnov finishes it off. He has a great combination. He has the speed, he has the foot and hand quickness, but he's a very strong skater, the balance. So he can carry the puck into the zone. If you run him out of room, he'll look to dish off. He's a great passer also.
Well, the Kings right now are 7th in the Western Conference. They're in a playoff spot, and they've defeated the Jets twice already this year. It's coming up next, the Kings and the Jets.
Kings Hockey is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart to fly Southwest, the low-fare airline. By your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. By cold, clean, original Coors, it tastes different because it's made different. By the Discover card, it pays to discover. By the Gatorade Company, who reminds you if you're not standing on the sidelines, you're going to get thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up. By Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place.
Wow, going to work for the Gorillas. I hope you take care of your old cellmates with tickets.
I can do better than that. How about a ticket out of here?
Really?
Really, do what I did. Call Sports Careers. They've got a whole program to prepare you for a job in sports. They've even got a newsletter with jobs in marketing and accounting, sales and broadcasting, just about anything.
Just another night at the disco.
It's the AIDS Dance-a-thon, benefiting AIDS Project Los Angeles, Saturday, April 22nd. To register, call 466-9255.
So dance.
Things isn't easy. That's why here at Carlson's in Santa Monica, Ron runs our TV and VCR service shop. He's one of the finest technicians in the county and runs our shop straight up. If you have a big TV that needs repair, we can fix it right in your home most of the time, avoiding expensive pickup and delivery costs. We charge $75 for a home service call, and about half the time, that's all it takes. The $75 includes up to 30 minutes in the home. If that sounds okay to you, just give us a call here at Carlson. And thanks for listening.
Miller Lite Ice, the taste that goes all out when you're out.
This is a lot better! Yeah! Much louder!
Miller Lite Ice, the night is young.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise? We invite you to join with Mr. Warren Wiebe in the singing of O Canada, followed by America the Beautiful.
We
fuchsia skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Warren Wiebe with O Canada and America the Beautiful. The Los Angeles Kings in a battle for a playoff spot. One of the teams they're battling, the Winnipeg Jets. In goal for the Jets tonight, Nikolai Khabibulin, an outstanding Russian goaltender. You see his record right there, 2 games under 500. Very quick feet for a big goaltender. He's 6'1", about 180 pounds, rangy, covers a lot of net. In goal for the Los Angeles Kings. Well, 13th straight start for Kelly Hrudey. Goals against average just over 3 goals a game. An outstanding season for Kelly Hrudey, perhaps the team's MVP. The officials tonight, the referee is, there he is, Lance Roberts on the lines, Wayne Bonney and Shane Heyer. And now with a play-by-play, Bob Miller.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Face-off out at center ice. Danny Quinn faces off for the Kings and wins the draw. This starts an important stretch of games for the Kings. They are 7th in the Western Conference standings right now. Puck taken away by Mikulchik. Left side, shot from there and a save by Kelly Hrudey on the shot by Igor Korolev. They got him from the St. Louis Blues. Now down in the corner, Korolev can't hang on. Left point, Dave Manson holds it in. His pass taken away and back out to center ice now, Michel Petit. Petit's pass intercepted by Alexi Zhamnov, tied for 3rd in scoring in the NHL. Sends it across the line, taken away by Sador. Now up to the blue line, and back comes Korolev to take it. Almost lost it at center ice. He gets it back again. Now it's intercepted by the Kings. Michel Petit throws it down in. Kings have defeated the Jets twice this year, both by scores of 4-2. January 28th here in Los Angeles, and then on March 11th in Winnipeg. Shot from the left side by Rob Cowie, deflected on the way in. Into the corner goes Rick Tocchet. Tocchet's pass taken away by the Winnipeg Jets, and Alexei Zhamnov up to center ice. Zhamnov, an outstanding stick handler, still with it. Tried to split the defense. It's taken away, not cleared. Manson from the right point with a shot. Blocked on the way in as the Kings, Eric Lacroix blocked it. Now it comes over to Granato. He tried to pass back to Lacroix, but it came toward the goaltender, Khabibulin. Now cleared back out to center ice. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. We're in the first period. Kings with it. Gretzky cutting it along. Gretzky shoots. He scores! 1-0 Kings. Wayne Gretzky with a lot of room puts the Kings ahead.
Very important for the Kings to bring the puck with speed wide tonight. It starts in the neutral zone. Tony Granato just corrals the puck in time, gets his head up. Now watch Gretzky here. He's like a surgeon. The little wrist snapshot, you can't pick the corner any better than that. You see the transition game for the Kings. One pass from McSorley up front, a couple of tip passes. The puck never stopped at all that movement, and Wayne Gretzky found himself on a breakaway. Top corner in the Kings lead, 1-0.
Gretzky from Tony Granato and Eric Lacroix at 1:24. The Kings' first shot of the night, and they lead 1-0. Into the corner, Yannick Perreault for the Kings. He's joined there by John Druce, and the puck cleared back out to center ice, and Petit for the Kings sends it back in, but the Kings had to touch up and get onside. So Wayne Gretzky, 311th career goal, puts the Kings up 1-0. Teppo Newman and up to center ice for Winnipeg. Drives it down into the Kings zone. Back to get it. Petit. Checked behind by Ty Domi. Yannick Perreault for the Kings along the boards. Clears it out to center ice. And Stefan Quintal breaks it up there. Here early in the first period, 17:45 to go in the period. Puck driven down in. Sador chucked hard into the boards by Mike Eagles, but over to get it, Michel Petit. Here's Petit. Moves it up on the right wing side now in the first period. Pass ahead to Randy Burridge, broken up. Burridge across the line, can't go in any farther, and the puck taken by the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets have lost 7 straight on the road. They are winless in their last 9. In fact, this winless streak started when the Kings beat them in Winnipeg back on March 11th. Wrap around by Randy Gillen, right in the crease and covered by Kelly Rudy. Gary Shuchuk kind of flipped it back toward Rudy. It's a good thing Kelly knew it was coming.
Bob, I don't even know if Kelly Rudy knew the puck was coming back. Gary Shuchuk was in the crease doing a good job to help out. You'll see Shuchuk, number 14. He's holding off one man. Watch the puck shoot between his legs. Right here, Shuchuk says, hey, let's get the whistle. I'll tip it back to the goaltender. Well, and Rudy's pad just slides out, so Kelly did see it at the last second. Not a bad idea when you're looking at the goaltender to know, hey, okay, hold on for the face-off. We'll settle down things, get a new line out there. I don't think there's time to communicate. I don't think Shuchuk has time to say, hey, Kelly, it's coming. The goaltender just had to be quick and finally smothered it for the face-off.
Wayne Gretzky with his 8th goal of the year from Granado and Lacroix. That's the scoring so far in the game. Kings score in their first shot tonight. As the puck comes up to center ice, Kings in control of it. Chris Snell gives it to Gretzky, batted that out of mid-air to Granado, and a save by Javi Bulin. And he flipped it up over the glass into the crowd. 1-0 Kings. We'll be back.
When you fly to Las Vegas, you can bring your spouse along for free because friends fly free on Southwest Airlines. Or you can bring along your partner, Jack. Tickets are fully refundable. Just make round-trip reservations and buy your ticket at Southwest's regular, low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere we fly. Hey, you can even bring along your boss. Friends fly free on Southwest, the low-fare airline.
Today's the day to see your Toyota dealer and experience the luxury of Avalon. And right now, there's a wide selection starting at only $22,758. Experience the all-new Avalon.
Hey, Chichi, got room for a fourth room?
Sure, and then some. Take advantage of Toyota Previa's special lease program. Imagine a Previa with lots of options for only $299 a month. It's Toyota's Today's the Day spring sales event, so hurry.
Hey, there's Chichi.
Los Angeles Kings, Barry Melrose behind the bench. They've scratched Dennis Seguroff, Rob Blake, Tim Waters, Kevin Todd, Robert Long, Yari Curry, Philippe Boucher, and Troy Crowder. Good news in our Break the Ice show before the game from Rob Blake. Tried to pull an April Fool's joke on me and say he's going to be out the rest of the year, but really he's going to be back here Thursday night against the Dallas Stars. Puck brought up to center ice now by former King Randy Gillen. Gillen sends it across the line, down in deep, and Marty McSorley chased by Dallas Drake. Around to Tony Granado, tipped it out to center, and the Jets almost got caught, and they did, with too many men on the ice.
The Winnipeg Jets, a weird situation. There was really no reason, I think, to rush a change at that point. The Kings had control of the puck, but by no means was there any danger. Usually when you have too many men on the ice, it's because you're hurrying to change. You want to get someone on the ice to defend, and John Paddock doesn't like the call. But what happened there, the two players that were changing, they weren't far from the bench, but the player coming onto the ice immediately played the puck. And at that point, the official has nothing else to do but call too many men on the ice. Coming onto the ice, if you have a chance, and you're a player changing and you know it's going to be a weird change, a rush change, don't touch the puck. Let your teammate change, and they won't call that penalty. The Kings on the power play this season, 15th in the National Hockey League. The Winnipeg Jets, the penalty killing 11. The power play for the Kings has been coming on a little bit lately. 5 goals in their last 3 games on the power play. The puck movement down low, I think, is improved for the Los Angeles Kings. You have a man in front, but at times he'll move into the corner just to give the Kings more offense.
What was your first clue that Paddock, the coach, didn't like the call? Did you see the look on his face? 1-0 Kings. The puck driven around the boards on the right side, and now back over toward Rick Tocchet. Tocchet gets it to Chris Snell. Snell fires it around to Gretzky. He let it go to McSorley at the right point. Here's McSorley. Kings have a 1-0 lead. Gretzky got the goal. Gretzky will again. Gretzky fakes, now shoots it, deflected off a skate, and is cleared. And out to center ice by Teemu Solani, where it's taken by Chris Snell. He gives it to Gretzky. Gretzky's pass, broken up, comes right back to him. Oh, he tried to feed it down in deep on the right side to Quinn, but it was intercepted and cleared. Minute 15 to go in the King power play. So far in 2 previous games against the Jets, the Kings are 1 out of 8 with a man advantage. So they haven't done a lot with the power play against Winnipeg so far this year. Puck in the corner. Tocchet held up there as he tries to get to it. Nelson Emerson took him out of the play, but now Tocchet with it. To Gretzky behind the net. He's got Dan Quinn off on the right wing. Gretzky hangs on. Gretzky around in front, shoots, and a save by Khabibulin. And the puck taken by the Jets. Newman moves it up to center ice. Here on the right wing side, Emerson offside called against the Winnipeg Jets.
Wayne Gretzky already has the goal for the Los Angeles Kings. Before the game, we asked Gretzky the same old question. What do the Kings have to do to win at home?
For our hockey club is that we have to be calm and patient at home as we are on the road. I think too many little things have gotten us disorganized at home. A bad penalty, a bad goal, a bad mistake, all of a sudden panic, and that sort of seems to set into our hockey club. We need to calm down, relax, and play the same way we do on the road as we do at home. If we can do that, we're going to be a team that's going to give some teams some trouble, because we have proven we are a good hockey club on the road. We just have to turn it around at home.
Bob, and I think most teams get more confidence when they win on the road. You talk about that all the time in the playoffs. You go into a tough situation, the other team's building. Well, if you have learned that during the regular season, you've gone through that adversity of winning on the road, it can help you when the pressure's on.
Well, after tonight, the Kings have only 7 games left here on home ice. So as Wayne Gretzky said, they've got to turn around, play with the confidence they have on the road. The big question is, can they do it in 7 games? They've got to do it and solidify a playoff spot. Here's Dallas Drake. Drake's pass deflects up to center ice. 17 seconds left to go on the penalty to Winnipeg. Randy Gillen from a sharp angle. His shot deflected up out of play, and then Gillen gets dumped by Michel Petit.
Michel Petit continues with a physical play, paired along with Daryl Sador, perhaps the most solid pairing for the Kings. There's a former King, Randy Gillen, known for defense, mostly on the penalty kill. Watch Petit follow all the way, and Petit doesn't care where the puck is. That's a great play by a defenseman. Gillen is not going to score from that position. A lot of times when a player shoots, the defenseman, if you have a bad habit, you'll turn and try to find the puck. Petit executed it perfectly. He stayed with his man and finished the check.
Here's another guy who knows how to pack a suitcase, Randy Gillen. He's with his 8th team in the NHL. He and Dan Quinn compare notes on that. 8 seconds left to go in the power play for the Los Angeles Kings. 1-0 Kings lead. Long pass up ahead, and here's John Druce in front. Shoots, safe, rebound, save again by Khabibulin, and he covers up on the try by Yannick Perreault.
Bob, that play took a little time to get going, but I think the Kings, with a planned set play off the face-off, it's a long pass. John Druce decided to just break for the center red line. He doesn't really have a breakaway. The second chance by Randy Burge, perhaps the most dangerous. You see Druce pick up the pass. Newman, the last second, look at Newman and just push with his stick just as John Druce was getting set to shoot the puck on net. So the defenseman Newman doesn't give up and helps out the goaltender.
John Druce, a former member of the Winnipeg Jets, has 4 goals against them this year, 2 in each of the previous games. Up to center ice, both teams at full strength. Teemu Selanne. Selanne across the line, had it poke checked away by Sador. Now Yannick Perreault against the boards. Perreault digs it out, and Randy Burridge brings it up to center. Burridge leads it ahead to Perreault. Now on the left side to John Druce. Druce pulls up. Winnipeg zone over the middle. Burridge shot and a save by Khabibulin. Yannick Perreault shoots and a save by Khabibulin, and he hangs on again. Nikolai Khabibulin, 22-year-old rookie goaltender from Russia, stopping the Kings here.
Bob, this line is effective because they keep it simple. Look it through the middle, one-man drives. That time, I think it's Yannick Perreault, and Perreault actually gets the rebound. But look at Newman, and again, the defenseman doesn't give up. A few little hooks right into the hands of Perreault, and you can't get the shot that you want. But with that line, they usually do it in straight lines. Drive to the net, someone comes in behind. Great movement, great drive to the net.
Now the right side here is McSorley to Rob Cowie. Cowie's pass back into the corner. It went behind Eric Lacroix and is cleared by Ty Domi. 1-0 Kings lead with 13:55 to go here in the first period of the Great Western Forum tonight. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox, and thanks to have all of you with us on Prime Sports. Lacroix up to center ice to McSorley. McSorley into the Winnipeg zone. Shoots a Whistler wide to the right side, and it rockets back out to center ice. Taken by Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky ahead to McSorley. McSorley, he tried to give it a Granato, broken up by Thomas Steen. Steen to Ty Domi. Domi tied up by Cowie. Now down in deep. Winnipeg Jets, left wing side behind the net to Ty Domi. Domi tried to bring it around in front. He gets tied up, sends it right through the slot Out of the reach there. But Gretzky's pass intercepted by Chris King, and a shot saved by Kelly Rudy. King intercepted Gretzky's pass, and Rudy made the stop. Puck is behind the net, and Eric Lacroix clears off the board.
Got to be careful with that line in the Winnipeg Jets. The Chris King, Ty Domi, and Thomas Steen. They don't have a lot of talent, but believe me, they grind you all night, just working hard. Every player takes the body, and that'll wear down a team before the end of the night. Kings lead 1-0.
I play because I love the night shift. I play because on ice speeding is legal. I play to see the smile on my dad's face. I play because champagne tastes best out of the Stanley Cup. I play for Prime Sports.
The name is legendary. The time is now. The Camaro 500 is on now at your Chevy dealer. 500 Camaros must be sold in the next 30 days. Get great selections on Camaro Z28, the car motor trend rated the best bang for the buck. And now get all this and more with a special GMAC lease. A loaded Z28 for just $299 a month for 24 months. But hurry, the Camaro 500 ends soon at your Southern California Chevy Geo dealer.
Prime Sports announcers have the David Rickey look. Designers of custom wardrobes for men. David Rickey and Company, California, New York, and the world.
Kings with a 1-0 lead. Wayne Gretzky, his 8th goal of the year. Tony Granato and Eric Lacroix with the assist at 1:24 of the first period. Face-off won by the Kings. Here's Michel Petit. Petit down the right side, got ducked there by Zhamnov, and the puck cleared up out of play. Take a look at what's on tap on our Prime Sports telecast here tonight in the first intermission. Jim will talk with John Druce, the former Winnipeg Jet. Then we'll show you Brute Hockey's top 5 goals and the first period highlight. Second intermission, we'll bring you up to date on the NHL scoreboard, also the college championship and NCAA basketball. Jim and I will have the analysis and the highlights. Dan Quinn on the draw, the Winnipeg Jets with it. Speaking of basketball, UCLA's 1 today. They will be in the championship final Monday night. That's Dave Taylor night here at the Forum. Come on out. The end of the basketball game will be on the Sony Jumbotron at center ice, so you won't miss a thing. That game starts earlier before the King game starts, so you can be out here and enjoy the end of that championship game. Left side, Jamnov, Kings on. He's checked the ball on the boards. Jamnov still with it. 3 Kings on. He is ridden out of the play by Arto Blomsten. He is a new King defenseman, only in his 3rd game of the Kings, and played once for Winnipeg. Puck taken by the Kings, Dan Quinn. Up ahead, nice move by Conacher. Conacher left wing. He shoots just wide to the right. Oh, he put a great move on at center ice. Now a linesman gets knocked down front. Pocket to Conacher, and he shot it wide, and he gets knocked into the net, and the net is dislodged. So Conacher made a great move at center, then got set up at the end of the play.
Then the physical play again, I think, by Michel Petit, the Kings defenseman. We'll see the play deep in the zone, the puck along the boards. And that's when the Kings break out on attack. There's the move right there, inside out by Pat Conacher. He catches Brent Thompson. The long shot right here, just long and wide. But as the puck goes along the boards, we'll take another look at Conacher take the shot. The goaltender, Habby Boulin, well out of the net. You can see him cut down the angle. From that position, if the puck gets into the net, any goaltender will tell you that's a bad goal. The bad angle shot, Pat Conacher just missing.
Kings win the draw. McSorley to Snell. Snell shoots and just deflected wide. Back out to McSorley. McSorley passing away. Nelson Emerson to center ice. He gets it out on the right side. Here's Keith Tkachuk walking in the slot. Tkachuk shoots. He scores! Keith Tkachuk ties the game with his 14th goal of the year. It's 1-1.
Keith Tkachuk showing some strength right there, taking the puck into the middle. And he had a lot of his own teammates driving to the net. It really created a lot of room in front. Keith Tkachuk takes the puck. Watch all the way. He's looking for someone to pass to, but with all kinds of time. By that time, he gets to the top of the circles before he even has to make his first move. That's too much penetration all the way. Right down the middle of the screen, it's Nelson Emerson, and he took a couple of Kings with him. No one took Keith Tkachuk, and the captain of the Jets ties it up.
Kachuk from Emerson at 8:19, and the game tied 1-1. Here across the line, Nelson Emerson again hangs on, fanned on his pass. Kings take it away. They've got Wayne Gretzky out, along with Eric Lacroix and Tony Granato. Jets with it back in their own zone. Pass by Stefan Quintal comes out to center ice. Would have been a two-line pass. Solani had to let it go. 11:10 to go in the first period. 1-1 to score.
Bob, already a couple examples. Both teams driving to the net well. That opens up things in behind. It's like a clearing receiver in football.
Solani to Gillen. Save. Rebound. Solani can't get a good shot. Behind the net. Wrap around by Newman, and falling on it is Kelly Rudy. So the Jets get another chance, and now some shoving up against the glass behind the King net.
Bob, the Kings getting a little frustrated here. The Jets starting to control with their speed through the neutral zone. Great example right here. It's Randy Gillen. He dumps the puck off, gets it right back from Solani. But again, the penetration of the Winnipeg Jets is too deep before the Kings react to the situation. They try here on the jam, but Kelly Rudy is there to make the save. With all that speed, Bob, it starts up ice. It's not happening on the transition game, so the Kings aren't turning the puck over. You see the jam one more time. Kelly Rudy getting his skate right across his crease. But the Winnipeg Jets coming back full speed. But usually, a team, when they're tentative, their defense will back off. But you can't blame the Kings' defense for backing off. When the opposition has total control of the puck and is coming at full speed, you have to back off on the play, and the Jets getting point-blank chances.
The Kings have allowed, up to this point, 122 goals in the season, and the Winnipeg Jets right now have allowed 121. They are the two worst defensive teams in the league. We're tied 1-1 here in the first period. Up to center ice, Sador, his pass to Conacher, and he wheels it in, and Nikolai Habebula makes the save on it. Now it comes around the boards from Kachuk to the right point. Shot by Sador is wide. Picked up on the left side by the Winnipeg Jets and cleared up to center ice. Across the line, Eagles with a shot off the glass. Mike Eagles leaning into that one. We've got 10:23 left to go here in the first period. Eagles behind the King net again with a wraparound, and Kelly Rudy stops that one. So the Winnipeg Jets driving behind the net, and several times now have tried that wraparound, and Kelly Rudy's been ready for it.
Too much time for the Winnipeg Jets to hold on to the puck. There's a look at one of the newest Kings defensemen. I guess he is the newest Kings defenseman, Arto Blomsten. 22nd National Hockey League game. He played 10 years in the Swedish Pro League, so he certainly is not a rookie by any stretch of the imagination. Like most European players, Bob, he has that base level of skill. So even as a stay-at-home defenseman, if there is a chance, he can jump up and be effective offensively.
He was the number 11 pick by Winnipeg in the draft in 1986. Face-off will be to the right of Kelly Rudy. 10:18 to go here in the first period. 1-1 to score. The Kings looking for their 12th win of the year and their 4th of the year here at home. And the puck taken by Sador. Up ahead to Kevin Brown. He cleared the blue line, but not out. But now the Kings, Michel Petit, to center ice. Knocked down by Tony Granato, but played back to cross the red line. And Petit, his pass, comes to the blue line and sent into the Winnipeg zone, where Neil Wilkinson moves it around the boards and out to center ice to Ty Domi on the right wing. Ty Domi throws it down in deep. Michel Petit back to get it. Sador takes Domi out of the play. Puck rolls toward Kelly Rudy. Flipped it back in the corner. Ty Domi with it. Domi for the Winnipeg Jets. Turning. Passing into the corner, but it's taken away by Sador. He banks it off the glass out to the blue line. And now Granato to center. Here's Gary Shuchuk with it. Shuchuk across the line. Moves it off the blue line. It's tipped out to center ice away from Kevin Brown. We get a King knocked down. It was Gary Shuchuk, and play continues here as the Kings drive it in, and Habebula knocks it down for Winnipeg, and it's cleared high in the air by Neil Wilkinson, and we get a whistle on the play. So things got a little ragged right there for a while with 9:14 to go in the first period. There you look at Martin. Again.
Talented Winnipeg Jets on the other line. So all of a sudden you have the speed out there. You turn your back. Ty Domi's breathing down your neck. Chris King's breathing down your neck. You can't all have the same type of player. You've got to mix things up, and the Winnipeg Jets do that.
Kings get Yannick Perreault out at center with Drews on the right wing and Randy Burridge on the left side. McSorley and Rob Cowie are the defensemen. Cowie chases it down the King zone. Puts it along the boards, but it's held in on the right side. Dallas great for the wraparound, saved by Kelly Rudy. Puck taken on the left side now for the Winnipeg Jets. Throw it down deep in the corner. Igor Korolev throw it in deep, but it's broken up, and it comes all the way back to the Winnipeg zone, and Dave Manson chases it down.
Bob, you mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, the Winnipeg Jets not afraid to take the puck from behind the net, immediately try to jam. Kelly Rudy, the goaltender, has had to be very quick a couple of times. The Kings defenseman focused on the puck. They're not keeping an eye on the front of the net.
Yes, I would say up to this point, 4 or 5 of those wraparound attempts that Kelly has been ready for. Puck driven into the Winnipeg zone, and Stefan Quintal back to get it. Moves it to Teppo Numminen. Numminen fights his way out to center ice, but the Kings take it away, and Yannick Perreault flips it across the line. 8:15 left to go in the first period. 1-1. Gretzky steals. Gretzky right side shoots. Score! His second of the night. And the Kings lead 2-1.
Bob, you get the feeling right now that the goaltender, Happy Boulin, is just overmatched. He's intimidated by Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky jumping off the bench. Watch the interception right here by Gretzky. Anticipation. He knew exactly where that puck was going. And here's what I mean by intimidation. Gretzky sets himself. Once again, the shot is not hard by Gretzky. It's just purely accurate. I think it goes off the far post. It's placed perfectly by Gretzky. His second goal of the night. Kings lead 2-1.
Unassisted goal at 11:49, and the Kings regain the lead. Nelson Emerson's pass knocked down to the blue line and taken by Tony Granato. Into Sador, off on the right side to Petit. Drives it high in the air. Gretzky on the ice, chasing it down, but offside is called against the Kings. Wayne Gretzky with 2 goals. Kings lead 2-1.
Everyone's being so nice to me.
Honey, stay and watch the game. I'll go mow the lawn.
I mean, really nice.
Dad, I want to change my curfew from midnight to 11.
Too nice.
Everybody wants to be your friend because friends fly free on Southwest Airlines.
Hey, neighbor.
Make reservations and buy your round-trip ticket at our low, unrestricted fare.
Look, John, in my professional opinion, you're simply the nicest guy I've ever met. In fact, you're my favorite patient.
Friends fly free. Anywhere Southwest flies.
Lately, I've been spending a lot of time with this old rope, thanks to Great Western Direct Deposit. You see, on payday, when folks are standing in line at the bank with their paycheck, mine's already in my checking account, and I get time for this. By the way, they don't even charge you for a regular checking account. Now, nobody likes to get tied up on payday. Talk to Great Western Bank about direct deposit, or ask your employer.
Truly one of the smartest defensemen in the league there, Teppo Numminen, gets fooled by Gretzky. Now watch Gretzky again. I talk about placement on the shot all the way Wayne Gretzky. And I've said this 10 times over the last 10 games. Gretzky has his head up. So he's not looking to blast the shot at the goaltender. He's just picking a spot, and he hits it perfectly.
Now the Winnipeg Jets, Stefan Quintal tries to hold it in. The puck is knocked down, but the Jets do have it into Teemu Selanne. He was suspended the last 2 games for a slashing incident on Dmitry Mironov of Toronto. So Selanne tweets it up the middle now. Here's Numminen with a backhander and a save by Kelly Rudy, and he hangs on for the faceoff. 2-1 Kings here in the first period. Remember, Kings season seats are available for next year. You can call this number Monday through Friday starting at 9 a.m. 310-419-3800. Get your Kings season seat for next year.
Teemu Selanne always dangerous. He was out there on the last shift so quick, so fast, and at the same time, just like his partner, Alexi Zhamnov, very strong on the puck. Selanne last year missed 33 games with an Achilles tendon injury. He took advantage of the lockout, took a long time rehabilitating it, now back in top form.
And the Kings move it up to Yannick Perreault. You know, Selanne still has tendonitis in his knee, and sometimes, Jim, he just doesn't practice for maybe a week at a time.
But the reason for that is he worked so hard coming back from the Achilles tendon injury. He skated so much. Finally, the people working with him, we're going to get a delayed offside here, Ty Domi picking it up. But the people working with Teemu Selanne told him, you've got to back off. You're just working way too hard. All the pressure went to his knee, and that built up the tendonitis. There's Ty Domi. He's been effective tonight on the forecheck. most penalties minutes per game. The Winnipeg Jets lead everyone in the entire league. Domi led the entire league last year by himself. But Bob, we talked about it earlier in the season when we were in Winnipeg. John Paddock, their head coach, he wants them to play with a grip. He wants them on edge. He doesn't mind the penalties.
Well, here's some grip out at center ice. We got Matt Johnson against Ty Domi. And Domi with his helmet knocked loose. Tries a left. He's got his left hand loose, and he's throwing some punches at big Matt Johnson. And they get each other tied up now. Now Johnson with his helmet knocked off, and you see that new haircut that Matt got up in Vancouver the other day.
Ty Domi's a difficult man to fight. He's very strong. He's a short player, and he won't back down from everyone. I just told you, he led the NHL in penalty minutes last year. Ty Domi did. He's only 5'10", and he makes it a difficult target. Matt Johnson certainly wants to establish his presence here. Ty Domi will not back down. As a big man, you're Matt Johnson, you're 6'5". You're always having to look down where you're trying to get a punch in on Ty Domi.
I'd rather be doing that than looking up.
A couple of melons right here we're going to see on this one. I don't know how they missed the target. You see right off the face-off, both players just in the middle of your screen, they're pushing just a little bit. They want to make sure that neither player there, Bob, takes the instigator and gets a game misconduct. And that is the call. Both players 5 minutes each for fighting. So if anything, the instigator rule, which is called more and more by officials, it's just forced players into a situation where they tap each other, you set up, you look at each other square in the eye, then both drop their gloves at the same time.
So they get 5 minutes each for fighting, and the teams remain at full strength. The Kings with a 2-1 lead, both goals by Wayne Gretzky. Puck is picked up by Chris Snell. Snell feeds it up the left side of John Druce, and he tips it in the Winnipeg zone. 6.5 minutes to go in the first period. Randy Burridge to Yannick Perreault. Perreault to Druce. Druce on the right side. Doc tried to give it to Perreault, but it's tipped away by Jamnov and comes up on the right side. The Jets trying to clear, and they do out to center ice. Driven right back in, and Neil Wilkinson back to get it. 2-1 in favor of the Kings. 6:11 to go here in the first period. Puck is along the boards and cleared out to center. Taken by Zhamnov. Alexi Zhamnov across the line. He dropped it back to Dallas Drake. To Zhamnov in front. Shoots. He scores! Alexi Zhamnov got it from Dallas Drake and walked right in front and ties the game at 2-2.
You saw the speed, but you saw the strength there of Zhamnov. Once again, the Kings defense backing off so far, and when Jamnov takes the puck to the middle, he just spreads his feet for balance. It's Jamnov entering the zone. One drop pass, gets it back immediately. And once again, that pass coming, the depth is the top of the circles. That's too deep. Right there, he actually got as far as the circles before the Winnipeg Jets had to make their first pass. You saw Jamnov, the great lateral movement. Spreads his legs, goes all the way wide on Kelly Rudy, and he ties it up 2-2.
Jamnov is 10th of the year from Drake and Corlin at 14:01, and the Winnipeg Jets with it again. Back they come to center. Pass on the right wing to Teemu Selanne. Selanne in deep. Selanne around the net, hangs on, still has it in the slot, shoots, deflected by Bloomston, and the Kings move it back to center ice.
Pretty good play there by Bloomston.
And offside go the Kings with 5:30 to go here in the second period. Jim, why is it respect for Winnipeg's speed that the Kings are backing in?
It certainly is. I think up ice, the Kings forwards have to do a better job slowing them down. I mentioned Bloomston making a great play. He recognized the speed of Selanne on the last play and realized he could not stand up. But he went to the inside of the ice. Bloomston did. He took away the scoring area. Selanne kept it on the outside all the way around the net. Never had a chance to take a shot. Bloomston using his reach. Smart play by the defenseman.
Well, we said that we might see a high-scoring game tonight. The goal judge might be the only one injured. He'll have blisters on his thumb by the end of tonight. Here is Quinn at center ice. Gets knocked down to his knees, and the loose puck. Quinn comes back to get it. 5:14 left to go in the first period. 4 goals have been scored so far, 2 by each team. Puck comes down in behind the net. Abe Bulin flips it around the boards, and the Winnipeg Jets start back out. They've lost 7 straight on the road, but they've fought back in this game. Shot by Chris King and a glove save by Rudy, and he hangs on for the faceoff. 4:58 to go in the first period.
I'm going to get ready. We could just hang out here.
I think you'd have fun, but I could go out alone.
Miller Lite Ice. For the taste that goes all out when you're out.
Now, aren't you glad we decided to go out?
Miller Lite Ice. The night is young.
You're great. I can't believe it's half the bad.
How's that?
Delicious.
I could eat about this many tacos.
These are great.
It tastes magnificent.
Bingo!
Taco Bell introduces Border Light Tacos. 4 new tacos with all the taste and half the fat. Try them and you'll be a believer too.
I had no idea light food could taste so good.
Chris King winds it up against Kelly Rudy. Look at Rob Cowie, 77, the defenseman of the Kings. He knows the shot is coming from a bad angle. He doesn't get involved in the play, doesn't want to be a screen on that long shot, and Kelly Rudy handles it easily.
Now off the draw to the right point. Shot by Quintal is up high. Up comes over to Tony Granato. Granato gives it to McSorley behind the net, and now it is cleared out to center ice and chased down to the Winnipeg line. Cleared by Newman into Dallas Drake at center. Now spinning around with Zhamnov, takes it away. Here's Granato, but a 2-line offside pass called against the Kings.
Kings hockey is being brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place. And by Taco Bell, proud sponsor of the Los Angeles Kings. Great food at great values. Cross the border.
Face-off will be from the point where that offside pass originated, which is just inside the King blue line. Coming up at the end of this period, Jim Fox talking with John Druce of the Los Angeles Kings. Wayne Gretzky on the draw. Gretzky's got both King goals, assisted by Granato and Lacroix on the first and unassisted on the second. Keith Tkachuk and Alexi Jamnov has tallied for the Winnipeg Jets, and that's where we stand right now, nearing the end of the first period. Gretzky dumped in front of the Winnipeg bench by Keith Tkachuk, and Gretzky slow getting up. Puck is in the Winnipeg zone. Gretzky now going behind the net, tried to get to the puck, couldn't get to it. Now McSorley with a check on Tkachuk and throws a punch, and down goes Tkachuk. So McSorley's going to get a penalty. This was for Tkachuk knocking Gretzky down at center ice, and McSorley heads to the penalty box.
Bob, we've talked about this in previous years. Wayne Gretzky, it may have been a clean check by Tkachuk, but one of the jobs of Marty McSorley is to step up and protect his captain. Here's the ladder play. McSorley stepping up with Tkachuk. Marty has one thing on his mind: retaliate for the hit that Tkachuk put on Gretzky. And McSorley doesn't care whether the hit was clean or not. He wants to send a message, and I think he sends one right there.
I think they're going to give him 2 for roughing. And the fans chanting, Marty, Marty.
Bob, that's one of the internal things that happens on a hockey team, and it happens on every team. You have your skilled players, the players like Wayne Gretzky. In Anaheim, it's Paul Kariya. The same thing works. If they're hit, no matter if it's clean or not, you have to show the other team you're not going to stand for it. You're going to make it difficult on them. You're going to make them pay for the hits. We'll try to keep an eye on it. Gretzky in the neutral zone picks up the puck. Tkachuk coming in. We'll line them up and just finish the check cleanly. It's right in front of the Winnipeg Jets. You see the bench there. You see Tkachuk. He kept his stick down. May have been a little late, although I think it was legal all the way. But Marty McSorley steps up, protects the captain, and the Winnipeg Jets will go on the power play with all their skilled players, you see, operating at 20%, 6th in the National Hockey League. Kings penalty killing 19.
And the face-off outside the blue line with the Jets having a chance to take their first lead in the game. We're tied at 2-2, 4:05 to go, first period. Keith Tkachuk out on the face-off with Conacher, and the puck taken by Sador. Sador's pass knocked down, but Conacher with it at center ice for the Kings. Conacher to Gary Shuchuk. He drives it down in deep. Conacher and Shuchuk up front. Good check by Shuchuk as he wraps Stefan Quintal into the boards. Conacher with it. Conacher to Shuchuk right in the slot, but off his stick. He couldn't get the shot. Taken by Alexi Jamnov. Minute 36 left to go in a power play. for the Winnipeg Jets. We're in the first period with a game tied 2-2. Up to center, Teemu Selanne out of Finland. Selanne across the line. Feeds it off to the right side. Now Zhamnov to the right point. Jamnov hanging on. Back to Igor Korolev. He shoots wide. Good shot. Then from the left side, a shot wide by Manson, and the puck cleared by the Kings, Daryl Sador.
Bob, I think the Kings can learn something from the Jets here. What they try to do on the breakout, get the puck to Teemu Selanne. Let the fast skater keep it simple. Carry the puck with speed, back the Kings off, then set it up once he enters his zone.
58 seconds left to go in the power play. Igor Korolev, he and Jamnov have known each other in Russia since they were 10 years old. Now playing together on the Winnipeg Jets, and we have an offside pass called against Winnipeg.
Bob, some people in Winnipeg pointing to that trade, bringing Korolev over to the Winnipeg Jets, helping that man, Zhamnov. They're such good friends. They played together when they were 10 years old. And kind of an interesting respect between Zhamnov and Korolev. Zhamnov has always been the #1 guy. He's always been the skilled player. Korolev has always been the grinder, even over in Russia. He's always been the guy with less talent, who's had to work very hard. Korolev comes over to the Winnipeg Jets. Best friends. Jamnov feels much more comfortable, and now he's in the top 5 in the scoring in the National Hockey League.
Face-off just inside the Winnipeg line. Wayne Gretzky and Tony Granato up front now for the Kings to kill the penalty, with Petit and Sador back defensively. 45 seconds left to go in Winnipeg's power play. Manson to Thomas Steen. Steen, the all-time assist leader in Winnipeg history, had his pass knocked away by Gretzky. Steen, 552 assists. Eclipsed the record that Dale Hawerchuk had playing at Winnipeg. Now in the corner, a hard check throw there by Michel Petit on Dallas Drake, and the Kings clear.
Petit, similar to Rob Blake, the Kings short-handed right here. Rob Blake showed us before he was injured. He's not afraid to take the body even when a man's short. Michel Petit following through again.
7 seconds left to go in the King penalty. Wayne Gretzky chasing it in, but Dave Manson sends it around to Dallas Drake. Drake up to center ice. Kings are back at full strength. There's a shot deflected up out of play. And the Winnipeg Jets get no shots on that power play, and we have 2 minutes left to go here in the first period. So a face-off coming up. The Los Angeles Kings going to take on the Edmonton Oilers on Monday night. Remember, that's Dave Taylor night. His jersey will be retired. Be sure to get here. The ceremonies will start right around 7:30. Don't be late. If you're a basketball fan and want to see the end of the NCAA championship game involving UCLA, it will be on the big video screen on the scoreboard, so you won't miss a thing. That's Monday night, Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. Dave Taylor night. We'll have all the ceremonies for you before the game right here on Prime Sports. Puck taken by the Kings. Tocchet to the right point to McSorley. McSorley to Tocchet. Tocchet gives it to Conacher. Conacher drops it off to the right side to Quinn. Quinn right side to McSorley. McSorley in deep. McSorley still with it. Hangs on. Turns. Shoots wide to the right. Rebound taken by Keith Tkachuk. Both teams at full strength. 1:26 left to go in the first period. 2-2 to score. Teemu Selanne in front. Shot knocked down by McSorley on the shot by Brent Thompson, the former King. And the puck cleared back to the Winnipeg line. Teemu Selanne with it there. Clears it off the boards into the King zone. McSorley back to get it with 1:08 to go in the first period. Up on the left side to Yannick Perreault. Perreault to Burridge. Burridge stopped at the blue line. 1 minute left to go here in the first period. Burridge feeds it ahead to Drews. Backhander wide to the left. Puck comes over to Michel Petit. Petit threw it behind the net for Randy Burridge. Burridge tied up by Gillen. And Newman takes it away, and we've got Petit and Mike Eagles in a scrap. Eagles and Petit in this scrap as they got tied up along the boards, and Eagles gets Petit's helmet off, and now Eagles' helmet is off, and Petit throwing right hands at Eagles, and now Petit knocks Eagles down. Eagles had the best of the early going, and then Petit came back strong, and they will head probably to the dressing room since there's only 45 seconds to go in the first period. There's Mike Eagles of the Winnipeg Jets in his 10th year. There's Petit along the boards, and Eagles comes in with a heavy check. Petit throws him off. Petit just looked like he wanted to get back into the play as the puck was in the Winnipeg zone, and then the punches are being thrown. A lot of punches into helmets. Peter Demers, the King trainer, tending to Michel Petit. 45 seconds to go in the first period. We'll see what the penalties are going to be here. Kings are on a 3-game homestand, including tonight, and then Monday night, Edmonton will be here. Thursday night, Mike Modano and the Dallas Stars at 7:30. And then Friday, the Kings at Calgary. That'll be on KTLA Channel 5 at 6:30. They get 5 minutes each for fighting. And as I said, Petit and Eagles will go to the dressing room. Petit with some blood on his Kings jersey.
5 minutes each for fighting.
So the teams will remain at full strength. 2-2 the score. Wayne Gretzky with both goals for the Kings. Keith Tkachuk and Alexi Zhamnov have the goals for Winnipeg. There's John Paddock looking on from behind the bench. He's in his 4th year as the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. Face-off outside the Winnipeg blue line. Jamnov against Gretzky. And Jamnov wins the draw. Here's Stefan Quintal. Flips it into the Kings zone, and Kelly Rudy will leave it for Sador. Sador hanging on. Everybody looked like they were expecting a whistle to be blown. The players turning around and looking back toward the blue line. It would have been a delayed offside against Winnipeg. The play continued. Here's Quintal. His pass up on the right side, but the net behind the Winnipeg goaltender Nikolai Habibulin has been dislodged. Wayne Gretzky, with 2 goals in this game, is looking for the 50th hat trick of his career. And look how close he is now to 2,500 points. Of course, he is the all-time leader in goals, assists, and points in NHL history. Gretzky feeding it ahead, and then into the slot. It's broken up in the Winnipeg zone. Picked up by Korolev with a nice move as Gretzky went down to the ice and lost his stick. Now Newman with a high shot off the glass. 1 second left to go in the period, and that'll do it. That's the end of the first period. Winnipeg outshot the Kings 11-10. And at the end of one of the Great Western Forum, it's the Kings 2, the Winnipeg Jets 2. John Druce of the Kings has 4 goals against Winnipeg.
Corner cleanly in the Kings lead, 1-0.
Granato and Lacroix with the assist, but comes Keith to tie it for the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, watch it right here. Marty McSorley has to get this puck deep. We'll stop it right here. The Winnipeg Jets are going there. 1, 2, and 3 Kings forwards caught deep because McSorley did not get it deep. Put the puck wide. Watch the unselfish play right through the middle. 19, Nelson Emerson. Stop it right here. He just drives to the net. Tkachuk's going to go right into the hole that he opens up. Unselfish play. Tkachuk ties it up. 1-1.
Emerson with the assist, but then it was Gretzky again, unassisted.
The best pickpocket in the league, no doubt, Wayne Gretzky. Reads the play, anticipates the play. And Bob, watch this. Oh, look at Gretzky. His eyes don't move. His head is up. He has his eyes zeroed in on the corner. Wayne, smile for the camera. Yeah, there he is right there in the Kings lead. 2-1.
He likes to see the fear in the eyes of that goaltender. But back come the Jets. Alexi Jamnov with his 10th of the year.
You have to watch the Jets all the time here on the ice because they are such a good skating team. We're going to see the Jets not much control until they get the puck in the neutral zone, and it's going to be 1 missed check. Right here, we'll stop it. John Druce has Korolev. We'll go forward here a few frames. Watch Korolev, 23, shoot free. He beats Druce to the front net. Now, Korolev will never touch the puck. Stop it here, though. McSorley now has to contend with Korolev. It's a 3-on-2, and Jamnov, with McSorley out of the way, takes it right to the front of the net. Missed check up ice, kills the Kings. Jamnov ties it up, 2-2.
Dallas Drake and Igor Korolev with the assist. The Southwest Airlines stat sheet, 2-2. The Jets outshot the Kings by 1. Scoring opportunities equal. Neither team scored on the power play. 24 minutes in penalties called with a couple of scraps in that first period. So we're just about ready for the second period here. The Kings of the Winnipeg Jets meeting for the third time this season, and the last time this season here in Los Angeles. The Gatorade second period face-off coming up between Jamnov and Gretzky, and Jamnov wins the draw. Both teams are at full strength as we start the second period. Here is Dave Manson. He sends it down deep in the King zone, and Eric Lacroix back behind the net, dropped it off, but the Jets took it away, and it's centered out in front by Korolev, taken away by Gretzky. Gretzky to Granato. Granato flips it into the Winnipeg zone, and Oleg Mikulchik back to get it. He clears it up the center to Igor Korolev. Korolev right side with Dallas Drake. Dropped it back, got it back again. Korolev right side, looks for help, snaps it right through the crease. And the puck comes up on the right wing side to Granato. He gets it to Gretzky. Gretzky to Granato. Winnipeg zone. He shoots, blocked. Mikulchik blocked it, and a pass by Gretzky over to Lacroix, broken up by the Winnipeg Jets. 2-2 the score. Dallas Drake across the line, left side, King zone, up the middle, shot by Jamnov, is wide to the left. Jamnov with it again, in front, poked away, backhanded by Newman, deflected wide. Loose puck, score! Right in front, Dallas Drake was there, Jamnov was there. Jamnov may have gotten his stick on it, and Winnipeg leads for the first time tonight, 3-2.
Winnipeg Jets, once again, I just talked about it during the intermission. You can't give them an inch. They have too many players, too many skilled players who can finish off. Dallas Drake goes to the front of the net. Jamnov is right there. Bloomson has a chance right there to clear it. And at the split second that he had to clear it, Korolev knocks the puck off his stick. Now, you don't always have time to look up, and certainly Bloomston didn't have time right here, but you got to try and get it away from the middle. He did try to do that. The puck bounces right to the stick of Jamnov. Jamnov has taken the lead tonight. His second goal in the season, second goal tonight, 19th on the season. So much consistency for the centerman of the Winnipeg Jets, and the Jets lead 3-2.
58 seconds into this second period. Winnipeg with a lead, and now the Kings clear it up the center. Sador's pass. It comes right back to Bloomston, over to John Drew. Drew across the line. Perreault shooting wide to the right side. Yannick Perreault pulled the trigger, got it wide. Here is Randy Burridge. Burridge checked down in the corner by Brent Thompson. Puck taken by Perreault to Burridge, but taken away by Teemu Selanne. Selanne to center, stepped on a stick, goes down, no penalty called. Puck is picked up by Bloomston. He gets it back to the blue line, and here comes Yannick Perreault to center right. Slaps it into the Winnipeg zone. Puck comes around to Randy Burridge. Burridge throws it in deep to John Drews. Drews left it behind the net for Yannick Perreault. Perreault around in front, can't get the shot, and now pokes at it again. Goes behind the net. Yannick Perreault with it. Kings trying to tie it up. Perreault in the slot to McSorley. McSorley's pass. Chases it down himself. Pulled down. No penalty. Puck comes over to Burridge. Burridge, left wing corner. Tied up by Brent Thompson. Randy Burridge still with it. Burridge gets it to Dan Quinn. Quinn down the corner. Winnipeg zone. Checked by Selanne. Now Burridge with it. Kings are down 3-2. We're early in the second period. Selanne trying to move it along the boards, and he gets it back to Neil Wilkinson. And Wilkinson moves it up to the blue line, but not out as it came off the stick of Selanne. Selanne sends it in deep to Wilkinson. Kings into forecheck again. Puck comes left point. Held in there, and a shot save made by the goaltender as Jaime Bullen made that save on the shot by Chris Snell. Falling on it down the corner. The Winnipeg Jets trying to get the whistle, and they do. Brent Thompson was there, and the Kings kind of arguing that he should have perhaps had a delay of game.
Thompson fell down. We'll see the shot coming through. The Kings did a good bit of forecheck right here. The goaltender cannot control the rebound, and from that point, the Jets are in trouble. There's Thompson falling down. You see him with his arms grasped around the puck. He holds on too long. But before, we're going to take a look at Dave Manson on Wayne Gretzky. It's a simple 2-on-2, but I talked about reads before. Watch Manson. Doesn't try to do anything, and stop it one more time. Stop it. There's Manson on Gretzky. With Gretzky on the ice, you have to keep it simple. As a defenseman, read it different than any other play. Make sure you take Gretzky out of the play, and that's exactly what Manson did.
McSorley, right point. His shot wide to the right side. Puck comes over to Rick Tocchet. Tocchet sends it down in behind the net. Kings chase it down the right wing corner. Check throw there, and down the ice went Conacher. Tocchet with it. Tocchet tried to give it to Quinn. Quinn behind the net. Puts it off of the corner now to Tocchet. Tocchet with it. Left side. Hangs on in the slot. Shoots wide. Rebound played by Conacher behind the net. Tocchet chases it down right side. Rick Tocchet, he chips the ball on the boards. He's second on the team in scoring now to Wayne Gretzky. Into the corner goes Conacher. Conacher held up, but he got it to Tocchet. Tocchet hangs on. Kings with some pressure on. Pass by Quinn. Deflects out to McSorley at the blue line. He throws it into the right wing corner. Quinn over to get it there. Kings are down 3-2 second period. Into the corner. A battle for the puck there. Quinn comes over for the Kings. He digs it out. Now it comes back along the boards and is slapped out to center ice by Chris King.
Second shift in a row. The Kings forward so effective with the low rotation. I think they can take advantage of the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets defenseman not that quick.
Lacroix with a shot and a save by Javi Bulin. Eric Lacroix stepped across the blue line, but Javi Bulin made the save.
The name is legendary. The time is now. The Camaro 500 is on at your Southern California Chevy Geo dealers. 500 Camaros must be sold in the next 30 days. So now's the best time to get a great deal on a Camaro Z28 with its powerful V8. The car motor trend rated the best bang for the buck. And there's a great selection to choose from. The time to buy is now, so hurry. The Camaro 500 ends soon at your Southern California Chevy Geo dealer.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. How come?
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Jets lead the Kings 3-2. Our director tonight, Doug Freeman, he is jumping in tonight for Gary Garcia, who normally is here, but some things you think you'll never see. He's out with food poisoning. And somebody said he's got it narrowed down, though, to the 5 food groups. So we hope Gary's feeling a lot better, and we'll be back with us shortly. Puck comes up to center ice. Winnipeg Jets go for it there, but McSorley tips it away right in front of the penalty box. Randy Gillen there for Winnipeg, and the Jets have it. Jamnov, right side, shot by Quintal, blocked by Eric Lacroix, and he's shaken up. Lacroix up and limping. He can't get over to the bench. The puck is back in the Kings zone, but now the puck comes over to Lacroix. Doesn't that always happen that way? The guy who says, I don't want nothing to do with it, I want to get off the ice, and then the puck comes over to him, and now he's skating over toward the bench. And I think he's going to be all right. It just needs to skate it off a little bit.
We've seen this quite a bit this season from Eric Lacroix, doing the little things like blocking shots. Jamnov once again penetrating. He gets it back to Stefan Quintal. And Quintal has a hard shot. Unselfish play, giving himself up. Eric Lacroix not taking any chances. He just fell in front of it. I think it got him right at the top of his shin guard, the knee part. There's a hard substance there, then it goes into a softer pad. If it catches you right on top of the knee, you'll feel it all the way.
I read something recently about how that's almost a lost art now, and with the look on his face, you know why. Puck comes to Newman and shoots, and a stick save by Kelly Rudy. Craig Ludwig, we're going to see him here Thursday with Dallas, and I think you pointed out before that the shin pads he wears, they look like ailerons on an airplane. He's got them. He took a what do I want to call it? Something that melts the glue, like a heat gun, and kind of melted them and then spread them way out. So he's got the wide leg pads so he can block shots. But really, with the style of play, with players not just coming up the wing and shooting, but going from side to side and spinning around and a lot of passing, the shot block is almost a lost art. Here is Solani, and he shoots, and a save by Kelly Rudy. Taken by John Drews. Kept in the line change. Kings up the center. 3-on-3. Gretzky right side, back to Drews. His shot tipped just wide as it came in front, and Randy Burridge was driving for the net. 3-2 in favor of the Winnipeg Jets. Across the line, broken up. Kings go back to center. Yannick Perreault across the line. Now up the middle, McSorley. He shoots. Saved by Javi Bulin. Rebound. Burridge can't get to it. Poked away. And back out to center. Chased down by Tkachuk. Keith Tkachuk across the line to Solani. And he is checked there by Sador. Kings had a chance in deep, but just couldn't put it in. Now they come back 3-on-2. Burridge Over to Drews. Drews banned on his shot, has it again. Now shoots. Deflected in front to Perreault, and he couldn't get a stick on it. Up the middle, Sador's shot blocked, and the Jets clear it back to the King line. Thomas Steen blocked the shot of Sador with 13:49 to go in the second period. 3-2 Winnipeg. Lead pass up the center ice. Kevin Brown drives it into the King zone, and then he got knocked down, and Chris King was looking around thinking he was going to get a penalty. In the King zone, Petit chases it down for the icing call against Winnipeg.
Winnipeg Jets getting a feeling here that the game is getting away from them a little bit. The Kings on attack. There's a transition. All three Kings forwards moving, and Marty McSorley picks the right time to jump in. Smart read by McSorley. McSorley went to the backhand, actually moved into traffic there for the shot. Yannick Perreault with a chance. Happy Boulin did not give up on the play. We'll see the attack as the Kings get some penetration here. Like I said, McSorley took the puck to his backhand there, Bob, and moved right into the traffic. I think if Marty had to do it over again, he would have kept the puck on his forehand, kept it wide, and went with a wrist shot.
Puck taken by the Jets and cleared up to the blue line. He did not get a lot on that backhand shot, and Javi Boulin made the save as Tocchet throws it back into the Winnipeg zone. 13:23 to go in the second period. Kings are down 3-2 to the Winnipeg Jets. Jets trying to get their first win of the year over the Kings. Out of the right point, Michel Petit, Winnipeg zone. He throws it in the left wing corner. Tocchet gets it there, out to Cowie at the blue line. Back to Tocchet. Rolls off his stick, but he holds it in. His pass to Kevin Brown. Brown into Dan Quinn. Then Brown got knocked down. Here's Quinn. Quinn down in deep. Spins around. Petit calling for the puck. Quinn with a shot. Knocked down by Javi Boulin. Loose puck. Kevin Brown can't get a good shot. He was fighting his way in front of the net. Now he's got it again. Taken away by Chris King. King up to Ty Domi. Domi up to center ice for the Winnipeg Jets. Flips it up in the air into the King zone, and Petit back to get it. Kings are down by a goal. Jets hold it in to Thomas Steen. Steen's pass right through the slot. Comes out to Dan Quinn at center. Here's Quinn. Left side. Quinn drops it to Tocchet. Tocchet checked by Domi. Tocchet down in deep. Domi checks it there. Here's Lacroix over to try and dig it out from Ty Domi. They battle along the boards. No whistle yet. Now Tocchet digs it out. His pass intercepted, and the Jets bring it up to center. Alexi Zhamnov moves it off on the right side to Korolev. Drops it to Jamnov. To Quintal with a shot and a save by Kelly Rudy. Step back Quintal with that shot. Here's Jamnov, left side. 3-2 Jets. Jamnov had to take it away. Kings come back to center. Granado then lost the puck. He had Gretzky breaking the center ice, but lost control of it. Dallas Drake shoots wide to the right. Puck taken by Gretzky and cleared out to center. 11:48 left to go here in the second period. 3-2 Winnipeg. Numanen gives it to Keith Tkachuk. Tkachuk left side with room. Shoots and a save by Rudy. Rebound to McSorley. McSorley can't clear it out. Jets with it again. Jets left side. Tkachuk gets checked there. Jets in deep. Here's Dallas Drake. Drake's pass in the middle. Saved by Kelly Rudy. On the backhander by Nelson Emerson. Emerson knocked down by McSorley, and Rudy falls on the puck. It's 3-2 Winnipeg. We'll be right back.
Our friends, Roger and Laura, they own the store where we bought the ticket. We gave them a pool.
We knew something was up. The foreman wanted to see us right away. They say nobody wins the lottery? Oh, yeah?
Miller Light Ice, the taste that goes all out when you're home.
This is a lot better! Yeah! Much louder!
Miller Light Ice, the night is young.
Three Kings in on the back check, but look how close they are together. Lacroix getting back. That allows Keith Tkachuk a chance on the wrist shot. Kelly Rudy gets a piece of it with a blocker. And from that point, the Kings one step behind all the way. kind of back and forth forechecks for each team. I think the Kings have been effective in this period, down low on the forecheck. The Jets coming right back.
Jets have the only goal of this period. Alexi Zhamnov with his second of the night. 58 seconds into the period to give Winnipeg their first lead in the game, 3-2. In deep is Yannick Perreault with John Druce. Perreault on the right side. Winnipeg zone. Perreault drops it off. Taken by Burridge. His shot just wide through traffic. Puck taken by Katie Solani. Solani, first game back after a 2-game suspension. He gets knocked down. Sends with it, Randy Burridge. Burridge, left side. Can't get a shot. Field back. He's got the key to the right point. Drops it off left side. Shot by Snell. Save made by Nikolai Habibulin. Puck comes over to Yannick Perreault in front. Shoots. Saved by Habibulin again. Puck taken by the Jets and not cleared. Kings with it. Yannick Perreault. Perreault's pass knocked down. Now the Jets get it to Nelson Emerson at center ice. Out of Bowling Green University, Emerson gives it to Kachuk and he sends it down in deep.
That line continues to finish checks for the Kings. Burridge with Druce and Perreault. Every time a Winnipeg Jet makes a pass, they finish the check and jump on loose pucks.
Burridge across the line, waiting for somebody to catch up, but Petit didn't get there in time to hold it in. Petit at center ice. Now passed down in deep by Sador. Chased in by Conacher. He's wrapped up. Kings with it up front. Tocchet scores! Rick Tocchet! And the game is tied at 3-3.
Finally, the forecheck of the Kings pays off. And really, Rick Tocchet wastes no time whatsoever snapping this home. He showed this before in the season. Strong hands on the puck immediately. Both Conacher and Shuchuk. Look at the hustle. Two Kings forwards in on the forecheck. Stop it right there. Well, we saw Conacher go through and take the first man. Shuchuk is the second man picking up the puck. And the third man on the play is Rick Tocchet all the way. Very quick, very smart. Once again, the forecheck. First man takes the body. Second man on the loose puck. And third man, Rick Tocchet. Tocchet's in good defensive position. But soon as Gary Shuchuk gets the puck, he's in the best offensive shape, and the Kings tie it up.
Gary Shuchuk with a nice assist, and Daryl Sador at the 10-minute mark. Tocchet with his 7th goal in the last 12 games, and his 17th on the year. He is tied 3-3. Puck comes around left point. Sador can't hold it in. Now he sends it across the line, and Kings are offside on the play as Tocchet touches up. 3-3 in the second period.
Travel arranged through U.S. Air, serving Los Angeles with 3 daily nonstops to Philadelphia and convenient connections to over 130 cities throughout the Southeast.
We'll see the Kings goal. What a little bit of pressure will do to a defenseman. The tenacity there of Conacher and Shuchuk. Manson, look at, he's facing the forechecker. He knows he's going to get hit. He tries to protect himself. Well, that allows Shuchuk to jump on that loose puck. And Bob, you saw the quick, strong hands there, Rick Tocchet. Just with a flick of the wrist, he gets a lot on the shot, and the Kings right back in this game.
Now at center ice, here is Marty McSorley back to get into the Kings zone. Wayne Gretzky is up front, along with Eric Lacroix and Tony Granato. Gretzky looking for his 50th NHL hat trick here tonight. Puck is back behind the net. Lacroix, he got a piece of the goaltender, Habibulin. We're going to get a penalty against the Kings. Eric Lacroix, interference with a goaltender. And the Winnipeg Jets are going to have the man advantage.
On this play, keep in mind the offensive player, Lacroix, has to do everything he can to stay out of the way of the goaltender. Lacroix chasing down the loose puck. Quintal goes back. Now the goaltender is out of his crease, and you have to agree with that call, Bob. Habibulin is just trying to get back into his crease. If the goaltender tries to stay an extra second, maybe you give him interference. But there is contact, any contact whatsoever. The referees have been very consistent this year. Don't fault Lacroix. He's trying to get in to work hard, but you have to get out of the way of the goaltender. Interference on the goaltender is the call. Jets on the power play.
And they are 0 for 1 on the power play. They did not get a shot on goal the last time they had the man advantage. In fact, so far this season, the Jets are 0 for 8 the man advantage against the Kings. 9 minutes to go in the second period. Bob Miller with Jim Fox, and the game tied 3-3. Here is Keith Kachuk driving with Solani, and it's intercepted by McSorley. McSorley up ahead to Granato, to Gretzky, to Granato, tipped away by Jamnov, taken by Wayne Gretzky. All the way back in the Kings zone, makes the pass over to Sador. He gives it up to center ice. Almost looked like he's trying to get into McSorley, but it was just out of his reach. Minute 20 left to go on the penalty to Eric Lacroix. 8:34 to go. Entertaining game tonight for the fans, and we hope you're enjoying it on Prime Sports. Newman fires it in, and it's up high off the glass, off the stick of Petit, and now cleared by Gary Shuchuk.
Bob, you can see the Jets have their head up now when Michel Petit is on the ice. Even on the penalty kill, Petit has taken the body all night, and he's forcing bad passes.
Honecker and Shuchuk up front to kill the penalty for the Kings. Winnipeg Jets with it. Petit and Cowie back defensively. Puck comes around to Thomas Steen. Steen along the boards, right side. Throws it down the corner, now gets it back again. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Up the middle to Newman, back over to Steen. Steen hanging on, gives it to Newman, and he shoots up high. Rebound, Kachuk. Can't jam it in, it's cleared by Conacher. Winnipeg Jets start back out again. Steen left side. Steen's pass broken up and cleared by Rick Tocchet. I talked before about Steen being the all-time assist leader, breaking Hawerchuk's record, but he's at 8. I'm number 2 and always will be to Dale Hawerchuk. He was the number 1 guy when he played here in Winnipeg. Cutting in deep, Dallas Drake. Can't get a good shot. Has it in the right wing corner. McSorley stayed right with him. Now to the blue line. Shot from there by Manson is wide. Puck is taken by the Kings. Lacroix's out of the penalty box. Dan Quinn gets to the Lacroix at center ice. Lacroix shovels it ahead. Shot by Tocchet. Deflected up into the crowd. 7:03 to go in the second period. Tied 3-3.
You got the winning color.
I change the oil every 3,000 miles or so. I've always used Pennzoil. It's a quality product.
Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts. Works like liquid ball bearings.
It's showtime, baby! My Pennzoil's forward to the Final Four. Winners took for 2 to the Final Four. 86,000 other prizes. Get details where you find Pennzoil. It'll be awesome, baby!
Buy a case of Pennzoil, win a trip to the Final Four. Details at Pep Boys.
These days, people who really understand money carry the Discover Card. That's because the Discover Card Cashback Bonus Award is just that, cash. Everyone can use more cash, and there's no annual fee. That's why the Discover Card is the choice of people who really know the drill. It pays to discover, accepted wherever you see the Novus Network sign.
The Final Four down to 2, Arkansas and my UCLA Bruins, and they'll battle out Monday night for the National Championship. Press Box is in Seattle to cover it all. Tune in tonight for highlights and interviews from today's games and more. Get with a program. Get with a Press Box tonight, 10 p.m.
Your Bruins and Bill Clinton's Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, I'm right again.
Face off right at the top of the slot in the Winnipeg zone. 3-3 the score here with 7 minutes to go in the second period. Newman up to center. Gretzky and Eagles having words, and Gretzky kind of gives Eagles a little whack with his stick. Now Gretzky chasing Eagles. Score! Eagles threw it out in front. It was tipped behind Kelly Rudy. And the Winnipeg Jets lead 4-3.
Bob, this is one of the situations that Gretzky told us before the game. One of these types of goals have hurt the Kings at home. Now it's up to the Kings to regroup after this situation. Looked like miscommunication to me. Simple play. Gretzky takes the player wide. McSorley back with the puck. Now Gretzky will be right here. Eagles is picked up. He throws it in front. It goes off the pad of Gretzky and between the legs of Kelly Rudy. Watch Rudy, the goaltender. I think he's going to move to follow the puck around the net. You see him move just that split second. He moved to his left. That opened up the legs. Bad bounce for the Kings. The Jets lead 4-3.
Now Petit, his shot from the right side is wide. Randy Burridge with it. Burridge into Yannick Perreault. He's taken into the boards. And the puck dug out by Zhamnov up ahead to center ice. So a fluke goal puts Winnipeg ahead. And here's a pass on the left side to Neil Wilkinson. Wilkinson checked by Petit. Puck is back behind the King net. It rolls over to Petit. He flipped it up in the air and over to get it, Chris Snell. Snell for the Kings. Up to center to John Drews. Drews across the blue line. Checked by Wilkinson. Drews to Burridge. Can't get a shot. Burridge with it in the corner now. Checked there by Brent Thompson. And Jamnov comes up with a puck. 6 minutes to go in the second period. Eagles gets his second of the year unassisted at 13-10. Winnipeg Jets, Dallas Drake can't hang on. Conacher clears it back to center. Now over to Manson. Manson on the left side. Across the line, offside, called against the Winnipeg Jets.
Winnipeg Jets pick up a one-goal lead. Mike Eagles, a bad bounce from the corner. Tonight's Discover Card Trivia. Which current NHL general manager once played for the Winnipeg Jets? And I can tell you that this player is one of the smartest players to ever play the game. I guess can be considered a wide body. He was a defenseman, tough to get around. He took up a lot of space. But I'm telling you, one of the smartest players. He played on some very strong teams, or other teams other than the Winnipeg Jets. Won a Stanley Cup.
And the way his team's going now, he may suit up again. Puck is chased in by McSorley, and he touches up. Want to remind you again, Monday night is Dave Taylor night. His jersey will be retired, and the first 12,000 fans in attendance will receive a free poster honoring Dave Taylor, courtesy of Baby Ruth and El Pollo Loco. The ceremony is going to start right around 7:30. Be sure you're here on time. And the Kings take on the Edmonton Oilers that night. And the UCLA championship basketball game will be shown on the video screen on the scoreboard. So come on out here, watch the game with us, and then honor Dave Taylor.
You called it the UCLA championship game. Does that mean they're going to win, Bob? Is that what you're saying?
Well, whatever. You know,
okay,
I'm sure all the UCLA fans will be happy about that. And off the draw, cut to McSorley, right point. His shot knocked down by Javi Bulin, picked up by Quinn. He tried to throw it out in front. And Quinn still being checked along the boards, and a penalty against Winnipeg coming up. Penalty against the Jets, and the Kings keep it in play. Now it's taken away.
Bob, the Kings drawing this penalty with a hard work down low. I think the Kings have really been effective in this second period with the low rotation. I think it was Pat Conacher driving to the net. Dave Manson will pick up the penalty. He has a few words for Marty McSorley on the way by. Manson, the type of player known to lose it every once in a while. He'll click and take some penalties, but this time the Kings drew the penalty, driving to the net. It's hard work down low. There's Pat Conacher. He's going after the loose puck, and you see Manson kind of wrap him up, not only with his arms, but kind of just gets him right in the midsection, uses his legs and his arms. A little Greco-Roman wrestling there. Dave Manson goes off for holding.
So the Kings on the power play. I guess the reason I said the UCLA championship game is I see a lot of people with UCLA shirts, but I don't see any of those hog hats they wear in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Are those ugly?
You're not going to see any.
I haven't seen too many of those. Kings 0 for 1 on the power play. They haven't had a shot on goal with a man advantage tonight. Wayne Gretzky's got 2 goals for the Kings. Rick Tocchet has the other. Alexi Zhamnov has 2 goals for the Winnipeg Jets. Keith Tkachuk and Mike Eagles have the others, and it's 4-3 Winnipeg with the Kings trying to tie it up. Kicked out to the right point to McSorley. His pass to Gretzky, to McSorley. Down and deep in the corner to Quinn. Now to Gretzky. Kings on the power play. Gretzky hanging on. Gretzky up the middle. Tocchet shot it wide to the right. And it is cleared the length of the ice.
Gretzky and Tocchet taking advantage of Gretzky's passing skills. Tocchet just hanging in the seam right there. Making a few moves back and forth, maybe 2 or 3 feet, looking for the one-time shot.
Marty McSorley throws it in. Dan Quinn jumps on it behind the net, but the Jets are going to take it away. And it's cleared up the center to Randy Gillen. Gillen overskated it. Kings send it back to the Winnipeg line, but it bounces up in the air and off of Dan Quinn and taken by Dallas Drake. The Kings have got 1:17 left to go in the power play. Down by a goal here in the second period. And Quinn sends it across the line. Chased in by Jamnov. Wraps it hard around the boards. McSorley at the right point. He held it in, but then he got hit by Eagles. And here comes Numanen. Numanen with Jamnov. Jamnov with a hat trick. Knocked down there as the shot went wide to the right and back behind the net. Jamnov and Quinn battle for it. Over to get it, Rick Tocchet. Tocchet clears it up on the left side with 49 seconds left to go in the power play. Now Tocchet sends it into the Winnipeg zone. Kings change up on the fly. Granado jumps on. Puck cleared back out to center ice. Taken there by Petit to Gretzky. Gretzky gives it back to Sador. Kings back in their own zone. Fans getting impatient. Pass ahead. Out of reach of Drews. And we're going to get no whistle yet. Granado came in to take it in the corner. Could have been an icing call if the Kings had got there in time. Now Sador to Drews. Drews in the corner with Gretzky behind the net. Gives it to Gretzky. Gretzky to Granado. Didn't get the shot. 14 seconds left to go on the power play. Granado to Gretzky. Gretzky behind the net. Granado's in front. So is Drews. Gretzky waits. Gretzky, his pass. Granado shoots, deflected into the corner. Chased down by Drews. Power plays over. Jets are back at full strength. A hand pass comes out to center ice and is taken there by Manson. But getting back is Petit to take it away to John Drews. Kings failed to score on the power play. Still down by a goal. Pass over towards Gretzky by Burridge. Broken up and cleared to center. 2:58 to go here in the second period. The end of the period will bring you up to date on all the scores of the NHL. Here's Burridge across the line, but offside against the Kings.
Near this spot, cold beer is being born. Choice grain and hops are brewed with cold Rocky Mountain water, then aged at near freezing temperatures. Finally, our beers are prepared, packaged, and shipped cold, direct to your hometown. From Colorado, the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia, or Shelby County in Tennessee. Cold beer from Coors. It kind of has a ring to it.
It's the way we make you feel that makes people fly British Airways. The world's favorite airline.
Bob, on that last Kings power play, you mentioned the fans getting impatient, but I think Darryl Sador did exactly what he should do on the man advantage. He took the puck back, waited for all of the Kings players to build up speed, then come up as a five-man unit. Yeah, the fans will become impatient. They'll start yelling. But if you don't take your time, you dump it in to no one with speed, the other team will just clear the puck and shoot it back down the ice. Take your time and set it up. I think Sador did it very well.
Tim, we've talked about that's, I guess, one of the perils of playing at home because you hear the fans booing and think, okay, come on, we got to get moving here and we got to rush our play when you really don't. And on the road, you don't hear that. You don't have to take your time. And while it was the right play, you still, I'm sure, hear those fans getting impatient. King Hood across the line. Burridge shoots, knocked, deflected into the corner, and it comes off the boards out to center ice. Rob Cowie with it there. Picked up by the Jets. Cleared to center ice by Mikulchik. Now he gives it to Manson. Manson shoots, and a glove save by Kelly Rudy. Rudy reached out and grabbed that slap shot by Manson.
Kings Hockey is being brought to you by Coors Light, naturally brewed. Reach for the silver bullet, the pure taste of the Rockies. By British Airways, the world's favorite airline. And by your Southern California Hyundai dealers, who invite you to test drive the all-new Accent.
Dave Manson can blast the puck. A long shot here. Look at Manson, his head down, looking at the puck. That usually tells you he's trying to get a lot on it. Kelly Rudy had to reach. It was a long shot right from the blue line, but the goaltender, Kelly Rudy, on top of the play, making the glove save.
2 minutes left to go here in the second period. Kings are down by a goal at 4-3, and it's cleared by Michel Petit back in the Winnipeg zone. Chased down by Conacher. He's taken out of the play, and a penalty coming up. This will be interference against the Winnipeg Jets. Brent Thompson's going to go for interference. Conacher had not touched the puck, and Thompson took him out of the play. And there's Brent Thompson. Let's look at it again.
There's the rush for the puck, the race for the puck. Conacher gets inside position. So right there, that forced Brent Thompson to taking the body. Well, you can't take the body unless the player has the puck or is just past the puck. Good call by the referee. Interference against the Winnipeg Jets, Brent Thompson. The Kings get a chance on the power play, and that play is not going to show up in the box score at all. But Pat Conacher, with a little bit of hard work on the forecheck, draws a penalty.
So Brent Thompson with a long face over in the penalty box as the Kings have the power play. Kings are 0 for 2 with a man advantage and down 4-3 here with 1:49 left to go in the second. Gretzky out on the left side of the faceoff circle with Dan Quinn at center, and Rick Tocchet lined up in the slot. So is McSorley. Chris Snell back at the left point. Kings trying to tie it up before the end of the second period. Randy Gillen on the draw, wins the faceoff, but Gretzky jumps on it, gives it behind the net to Tocchet, and it is taken away and cleared by Dallas Drake. Kings with a chance here to tie it up before the end of the second period. 4-3 the score. And the Kings in their own zone. They're just playing around a little bit in front of their own goaltender. Puck comes over to Tocchet. He tips it in. Newman back to get it. He clears it quickly back in the Kings zone. Minute 29 left to go in the power play. On the right side, Dan Quinn, Winnipeg zone. Quinn back to Gretzky, the right point. Gretzky waits. Gretzky shoots, and a save by Javi Bullen. Rebound off the board. Gretzky on the right wing side. Gretzky double team there. Got it to Quinn. Down on the corner. Newman took it away. He got it up ahead to Randy Gillen. 1 minute to go in the second period. Gillen to Zhamnov. Jamnov with 2 goals in the game. Stick handles. He's a great stick handler, and now flips it into the Kings zone. Kings back to get it. Up to center they come with 45 seconds left to go in the period. Chris Snell, the rookie defenseman, drives it in. Mike goes back to get it, steps over a broken stick down in the corner. Wayne Gretzky with it there. Gretzky trying to dig it out, and now Conacher battling along the board. Puck is behind the net and slapped down and cleared. And I think off the scoreboard. So the play is whistled down with 29 and 8/10 seconds to go here in this second period. The Kings with only 1 win in their last 10 here at home, and they're trailing tonight 4-3.
And I talked with John Druce earlier about Barry Melrose, the decision today by the Kings to have the morning skate and then go to the hotel. I talked to Barry yesterday. He said, hey, it's not a gimmick. It's not a situation of, preparing the Kings like a road game. He just wants the concentration, the focus of the Kings on the game. And he mentioned, coming off a road trip, you come home, and it can seem cold at times, but he said, kids want to see their fathers. Well, that takes your mind off the game. Coming off a road trip, he wanted the Kings in the hotel getting ready for today's game. So far, I guess you could say it's not working. The Jets leading by 1 goal.
Well, they've tried to wear the road sweaters at home, stay in the hotel. Not sure what else you can do. Here is Yannick Perreault behind the net. Perreault being dragged down there, gets help from Granato. Granato left side, Sador waits, now shoots, saved by Javi Bullen, rebound to Granato. 11 seconds to go in the period. Granato waits, shoots, saved by Nikolai Javi Bullen, and he dives on the puck. 6.5 seconds to go here in this second period.
Good job by Javi Bullen there to control the rebound. He had help from his defenseman. Manson was strong in front, clearing the front of the net, but Javi Bullen, when the rebound was kicked out, it was right at his feet. So he could jump on it himself. I think that's one of the biggest differences from goaltenders, young goaltenders coming into the NHL. You have to control every rebound. Otherwise, the quickest of the players in the NHL will jump on the loose puck.
Only 6.5 seconds to go here in the second period. Face-off to the right of Nikolai Javi Bullen. He's the goaltender from Russia. And Randy Gillen gets kicked out of the face-off spot. Keith Tkachuk will come in to face off against Yannick Perreault. 4-3, Winnipeg Jets lead. And off the draw, the Jets with it. That should kill the time in the period. 2 seconds to go. Kings trying to hold it in. Now in the corner, time runs out. And at the end of 2 periods here tonight, the Los Angeles Kings are trailing the Winnipeg Jets 4-3. Stay tuned. We'll be back with a wrap-up of all the out-of-town scores of the NHL in just a moment.
What do you look for in a restaurant? Good food, location, and atmosphere, right? What if there was a place that had all that, but instead of just good, it was great? Topper's Restaurant and Cantina. We've got the view. Authentic Mexican cuisine, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, live nightly entertainment, plus the best happy hour on the west side 7 days a week, all atop the Radisson Huntley Hotel in Santa Monica. Plan to have your next party in one of our large banquet facilities. Topper's Restaurant and Cantina.
Things isn't easy. That's why here at Carlson's in Santa Monica, Ron runs our TV and VCR service shop. He's one of the finest technicians in the county and runs our shop straight up. If you have a big TV that needs repair, we can fix it right in your home most of the time, avoiding expensive pickup and delivery costs. We charge $75 for a home service call, and about half the time, that's all it takes. The $75 includes up to 30 minutes in the home. If that sounds okay to you, just give us a call here at Carlson. And thanks for listening.
Because the new Accent combines a spirited self-tuning engine, a responsive multi-link suspension, advanced dual airbag technology, with an uncommonly low sticker price, it's kind of hard to avoid the spotlight. The all-new Accent from Hyundai, now introductory priced at $8,079, only at your Hyundai dealer.
I'd love a house of my own.
With bay windows.
And the kids upstairs.
On a ranch house?
If you're dreaming of your first home, here's good news. Great Western Bank has mortgages for first-time buyers.
We'll have a big porch.
Covered with ivy.
You get low rates. Choice of mortgages. It's perfect for you.
Hey, I'll build a picket fence.
For the dog.
Stop dreaming about that first home. Talk to your realtor or call Great Western.
We'll have room for my mom.
Or not.
New Padres. We want you back. For tickets, call 29 Padres. Tickets also available at the stadium, Gate C, or any Ticketmaster location.
Wow, going to work for the Gorillas. I hope you take care of your old cellmates with tickets.
I can do better than that. How about a ticket out of here?
Really?
Really, do what I did. Call Sports Careers. They've got a whole program to prepare you for a job in sports. They've even got a newsletter with jobs in marketing and accounting, sales and broadcasting, just about anything. Look, you want game tickets, I can do that. You want to get in the game, call Sports Careers. 1-800-SPORT-77.
The next seminar is April 21st and 22nd in Los Angeles. Call for more information.
We're back live at the Great Western Forum. 2 periods have been played, and the Winnipeg Jets have a lead over the Los Angeles Kings, 4-3. Hi again, everybody. Time for the Ford Sports Update. We've got NHL scores, we've got NCAA hockey scores, and NCAA basketball. A lot of other action tonight in the National Hockey League, and some teams trying to get into a playoff spot. The New York Rangers this afternoon at Boston. The Rangers win it 3-2. Right now they're out of the playoffs, but they broke a 7-game losing streak with that win. Kovalev had his 7th and 8th goals for the Rangers. Donato and Oates scored for Boston. Philadelphia at Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh wins this one 3-2. Goals by Francis. Robitaille is 18th, and Stevens. Renberg got his 19th, and Eric Lindros his 20th for Philadelphia. The Flyers are first in the Atlantic. Buffalo and the Islanders. The Islanders have now lost 5 straight. They lose 5-1 this afternoon to the Buffalo Sabres. Montreal out of the playoffs right now, 12th in the Eastern Conference. They get beat again tonight by New Jersey, 4-1. John McClain of the Devils had his 13th and 14th goals of the year. Detroit at Dallas. Dallas trying to catch the Los Angeles Kings. They get beat 3-2 by the team that leads the Western Conference, Detroit. LaPointe, Coffey, and Cicerelli for the Red Wings. Zezel and Gagne for Dallas. Vancouver at Edmonton. Vancouver leading Edmonton 3-1. Vancouver started the night 2 points ahead of the Kings. Edmonton is 1 point behind the Kings. That is in the second period. This afternoon in the NCAA Hockey Championship, the Terriers of Boston University defeat the Black Bears of Maine 6-2. BU wins their first hockey title since 1978. In the NCAA semifinal basketball tournament, UCLA going to the finals. Their 74-61 victory over Oklahoma State. They'll meet the defending champion Arkansas Razorbacks. They defeated North Carolina 75-68. You'll see all the scores and highlights tonight on Press Box here on Prime Sports. Jim and I will be back at the Great Western Forum in just a moment.
Kings Hockey is being brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. For some, recess never ends. Life's a sport. Drink it up. And by Pacific Bell, who on January 1st reduced the average price of your local toll calls by 40%.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. How come?
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Hey, Bob. Big out-of-state phone company here. How'd you like a brand new TV and a 5-course meal? Just say you'll switch, Bob.
Actually, I'm pretty happy. Some phone companies will promise you almost anything to switch from Pacific Bell.
Bob?
But once their offer expires, what then?
Time's up, Bob. Boys, everything goes.
Everything? On January 1st, the prices of our local toll calls were reduced by an average of 40%.
Au revoir, Bob.
And that'll never be taken away. Stick with Pacific Bell.
The name is legendary. The time is now. The Camaro 500 is on now at your Chevy dealer. 500 Camaros must be sold in the next 30 days. Get great selections on Camaro Z28, the car motor trend rated the best bang for the buck. And now get all this and more with a special GMAC lease. A loaded Z28 for just $299 a month for 24 months. But hurry, the Camaro 500 ends soon at your Southern California Chevy Geo dealer.
Sport Mart has the low price.
Low price?
The low price on everything you're looking for. Like the Bravo Blade GL inline skate from Rollerblade with active brake technology. Or the brand new Bravo Blade Junior, also featuring active brake technology. Sport Mart has the low price on rollerblades so often
that we confidently offer you double the difference back if you find it for less somewhere else.
For the last word on the low price, it's Sport Mart.
You'll find what you're looking for at Sport Mart.
Been thinking about a burger with bacon.
Now, the word association test. Motherhood?
Bacon.
Crisp hot bacon is all I see.
Relationship.
Bacon.
Need a bacon double cheese from Becky D.
Bus driver.
Bacon. Now McDonald's has a 99-cent bacon double cheeseburger with savory bacon, just 99 cents. Make it an extra value meal for just $2.99 for a limited time.
Let's break for lunch.
Have you had your break today?
It's a fact that smoking can cause premature aging.
Hey, Cliffy, what's up?
That's Jeff Francis, who started smoking in junior high. He's a sophomore now.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving.
At National Car Rental, we keep you moving. Because at National, green means go.
4-3 in favor of the Winnipeg Jets with 1 period left to go here at the Great Western Forum. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox back with you. And unfortunately for the Kings, Jim, and you mentioned it at the time, a goal that you just don't want to give up is one that has put Winnipeg ahead here, kind of a fluke goal by Mike Eagles.
And it was the reaction of the Kings after that goal. Mike Eagles certainly shooting the puck from the corner. No one was in front of the net. The Kings doing a good job to get back. Gretzky picks up his man. The defensemen pick up their men. You get a bounce, it goes in. What happens after that is what becomes very important for the Los Angeles Kings. And Gretzky told us before the game, it's little things like that have been hurting the Kings here at home. It knocks them off their game. Well, I think the Kings played it pretty well. They went back on a simple forecheck, got the puck deep, created the low rotation, drew a couple of penalties. It hasn't paid off yet, but they got to keep going back to that area because they've been effective.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going to come up before the next game here at home. One of the great Kings of all time, 17 years he played in a Kings uniform. Wayne Gretzky. Dave Taylor, 17 years in that King uniform, number 18. And there's the lithograph, 17 years of number 18, limited edition, 318 prints autographed by Dave. If you would like more information, call 310-419-3814. All the proceeds go to the Los Angeles Kings Youth Hockey Foundation. Dave Taylor, such a great contributor to this organization, and it's going to be an outstanding ceremony on Monday night, and you're going to see it right here on Prime Sports.
Dave Taylor for 17 years. Truly, Bob, one guy who played the game so hard that after the game, he never had any excuses, and he really had no need for excuses. I've seen players, including myself, I know you use the excuse. After the game, you get mad at yourself. Say, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. Very rarely, if ever, did I see Dave Taylor do that. Yeah, he's mad that the Kings lost, but he knew he didn't have to be mad at himself because he gave everything he could during the game. During the 60 minutes, he did what he could. After the game, he has to live with it.
I also have said this many times that he never complained about one thing that I ever heard of in 17 years, which is certainly rare. Kings will try to get back in this game. We'll have the highlights in a moment.
Wow. We could make our new jet ski watercraft perform like everybody else's, but first, we'd have to slow it down. The new 900 CXI. See your Kawasaki dealer before June 15th, and if you're a qualified buyer, you can ride out with no payments at all for 90 days.
Own the water now at Kawasaki Santa Monica, 828 Pico Boulevard.
You look for in a restaurant. Good food, location, and atmosphere, right? What if there was a place that had all that, but instead of just good, it was great? Topper's Restaurant and Cantina. We've got the view. Authentic Mexican cuisine, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, live nightly entertainment, plus the best happy hour on the west side 7 days a week. All atop the Radisson Huntley Hotel in Santa Monica. Plan to have your next party in one of our large banquet facilities. Topper's Restaurant and Cantina.
He was a giant of a man and a friend to none. When he rode into town, he blocked out the sun. Said, I'm hungry, Jack, need a change of pace. Make it big, make it good, wipe that smile off your face. Outlaw Burger. I took a quarter-pound patty, onion rings, melted cheese, big strips of bacon and that barbecue sauce. Brought him to his knees. He cried, I gotta have one, Jack. I said, you better say please. Outlaw Burger. Ha!
New Padres. We want you back. For tickets, call 29 Padres. Tickets also available at the stadium, Gate C, or any Ticketmaster location.
Son of a gun protectant. Nothing works better on your car's leather, vinyl, and rubber. It can turn just about anything into a great-looking car.
Nice car. What, this pile of junk?
Give it the gun with Son of a Gun. And now give your tires a quick kick with one-step tire care.
Look out, Grasshopper. It's Shaq Fu. The Lakers take on the Magic Sunday night at 6:30 on Prime Sports.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bill McDonald for Press Box, and we are ready to rock with our Final Four coverage here in Seattle. We've got it all covered for you, including interviews with the players and the coaches. So get with the program. Get with George Raveling and myself tonight on The Box at 10. Los Angeles Kings are coming back out onto the ice for the start of the third period here at the Great Western Forum. They trail the Winnipeg Jets 4-3. 3 goals scored in the second period here tonight. And on the Pennzoil highlights, you'll see Alexi Zhamnov get his second of the game and 19th of the year. Jets had their first lead.
Nothing fancy about this play. The Jets really don't have control. Jamnov loses it there. They backhand it towards the net. Bloomston has a chance right there to clear it. Korolev beat him to the puck, and the loose puck went right to Alexei Zhamnov. He puts it home, and the Winnipeg Jets on top of the Kings.
Korolev with the assist at 58 seconds, but then the Kings came back, and Rick Tocchet got his 7th in the last 12 games.
And, Bob, the Kings really have forechecked well tonight. You'll see Conacher and Shuchuk. Watch the defenseman number 3, Dave Manson, right there. He turns his whole body around to protect himself. He doesn't want to get hit. Shuchuk picks up the loose puck. Watch the quick and strong hands here of Rick Tocchet. Great scoring position. He blasts it home and ties it out 3-3.
Shuchuk and Sador with the assist, but the bad bounce goal that we talked about in between periods.
And I mentioned a simple play, not much happening. Actually, a lot of good things happening by the Kings. McSorley gets back, and we'll stop it right here. 1 King in front, 2 Kings in front. Gretzky's coming back to help out. Everything going right. Well, keep your eye on Kelly Rudy, the goaltender. The puck will come out of the corner, and because of the change in direction, he just leaves his post right there, just a split second. You can't blame him. He was following the puck to the front. The redirection of the puck, bad bounce for the Kings. and the Jets lead 4-3.
He was upset at Eagles right then, and he was taking a run at Eagles, and Eagles threw it out in front, and it just deflected in and gives Winnipeg that lead. It's an unassisted goal by Eagles on the Southwest Airlines stat sheet. 4-3 Jets. Shots in the second period. Kings outshot Winnipeg 12-9, and the Kings have outshot them by 2 for the game. Scoring opportunities favor the Kings. Only 4 power plays, no goals on those man advantages, and 30 minutes in penalties called in the game tonight. So the Kings down by a goal, 4-3, as we get set for the Gatorade third period face-off. And the Kings have 11 seconds left on the power play. Shewchuk facing off against Zhamnov, and the puck comes back into the Winnipeg zone. Oleg Mikulchik, a Russian defenseman, clears it out to center, and that's going to do it. The Jets are back at full strength. Brent Thompson out of the penalty box. He goes right over to the bench as the Kings bring it up to center ice. Here is Conacher. Conacher on the left side, overskated, then spun around and flipped it in, and the Kings are offside on the play.
I'm sure the Winnipeg Jets will try to do that as much as they can. The last play, the Kings trying to enter the zone. The Jets standing up at the blue line. That's important at any time in the game, but more important when you're holding the lead. The only way a defenseman can stand up at the blue line, he gets support from his forwards coming back, working hard to get back on the back check. Then the defenseman, they can stand up as much as they want.
Face-off outside the blue line with both teams at full strength. Kings win the draw. Chris Snell over to Michel Petit. Petit flipped it high in the air, and Mikulchik knocks it down. Kings have got one more game against Winnipeg. It'll be the next to last game of the regular season in Winnipeg, and then the next night, Kings will wrap it up in Chicago on May 3rd. That'll be the end of the regular season. The playoffs begin May 6th. Puck taken by the Kings up to center ice, down by a goal, 4-3. Left side to Conacher. Conacher driving in deep, checked by Quintal and knocked down hard. Puck comes around the corner. Kings with it. Tried to get it over to Gary Shewchuk, but out of his reach. Solani clears it out to center ice. Solani's been kind of quiet in this game.
Tuva Solani trying to find his place on the ice. Just the timing of Solani. It seems like every time the Jets are going one way, he's going the other. But you've got to keep your eye on him. Otherwise, he gets that half step. That's all he needs.
Now up to center here. Jamnov looking for the hat trick. Can't get the shot. Sidor cut him off. Jamnov to the blue line. Shoots. He scores! The hat trick for Alexi Zhamnov. And the Jets lead 5-3.
Bob, you try to figure out why Jamnov is so effective. He supports the puck so well. He's always moving. Europeans like to go back and forth. They don't like to stop. And we're going to see him support the puck. There's Jamnov already moving through the middle, so he has the speed. He doesn't have to slow down the stop-up. The Kings take a split second to sort themselves, and there's the screen. 23 Korolev skating backwards in front of Kelly Rudy. There's no doubt in my mind that Kelly Rudy could not find the puck at all. And Jamnov on the hat trick. Jets lead 5-3.
And we're going to get a goaltender change for the Kings. Kelly Rudy goes out for the second straight game. And in comes Grant Fuhr. Alexei Zhamnov gets the goal, his third of the night, 20th of the year, from Dallas Drake and Igor Korolev at 1:25. And into goal comes Grant Fuhr. He's 0-4 this year, as you can see, but he had 21 saves in the second period against Vancouver the other night. 30 shots in the game and allowed 2 goals. But what a goaltending display he put on in the second period up there in Vancouver. So the Kings down by their widest margin of the night, 5-3. Jamnov with a hat trick, and the puck cleared back down into the Kings zone, and back to get it now is Sidor. He moves it up to center ice and back into the Winnipeg zone. We're going to get an icing call here. Numanen back to touch it. So the Jets lead 5-3, and a dejected Kings bench.
Now, Bob, I think that move for the goaltender, I don't think it can be against Kelly Rudy, although that bad bounce goal hurt him, but it just was a bad bounce. Korolev on the last play, he had so much time with Jamnov holding on to go to the front of the net, and he waited till Jamnov set up for the shot. The screen came just as the puck was coming towards Kelly Rudy. He didn't see it at all.
That was Jamnov's second hat trick of the year. He had one on February 11th against St. Louis in a 3-2 victory. Got all 3 goals that night. Here he's given the Winnipeg Jets a little bit of a cushion early in the third period. but the Kings give up a goal 58 seconds into the second period and a minute 25 into the third period. That gives the road team a real lift. Either a goal at the end of the period or a quick one early in the next period.
You go into the dressing room, you talk about things, you're holding a one-goal lead, everything's a little tight. You come onto the ice, you get that big confidence boost with a quick goal.
That's for Jamnov, is his second career hat trick against the Kings. Wayne Gretzky's looking for a hat trick. He had the first 2 King goals tonight. Kings in deep in the fake zone. Drew threw it in front. Petit in front. Shot score! Yannick Perreault. The Kings are back in it as Yannick Perreault makes it 5-4.
It took time to develop. I think the Winnipeg Jets guilty here of following the puck a little too closely. The forwards get back. Drews out from behind the net. To the left of your screen is Yannick Perreault. And just seeing him at the last second was Michel Petit. Smart play by the Kings defenseman. Look at the Winnipeg Jets. Domi gets back. They all cruise back, but they forget the puck. And the player away from the play, he's always so dangerous. I think the Jets there, Bob, like the Kings at times, just guilty of working too hard and not focusing on your own position. Kings right back in the game.
Perreault with his second of the year. Petit and Bruce with the assists at 2:39. And it's a 1-goal game again. 5-4 in favor of the Winnipeg Jets. 3 minutes gone by here in the third period. Conacher along the boards, now to Dan Quinn. Quinn up the center, 3-on-3 with Tocchet and Conacher. Now a pass in deep, but Conacher got held up by Manson, and the puck is grabbed by the goaltender, Abebulin.
When you fly to Las Vegas, you can bring your spouse along for free because friends fly free on Southwest Airlines. Or you can bring along your partner, Jack. Tickets are fully refundable. Just make round-trip reservations and buy your ticket at Southwest's regular, low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere we fly. Hey, you can even bring along your boss. Friends fly free on Southwest, the low-fare airline.
Today's the day. It's spring. Time to get up and get going. Your Toyota dealer wants to put you in the all-new powerful Celica convertible. A low Celica lease is just the ticket to make your day. It's as beautiful to look at as it is to drive, so take advantage of the best time of year. Check out the Toyota Supra. There's nothing like it. It's Toyota's Today's the Day sales event, so what are you waiting for?
All the tickets sold again tonight, 16,005. The Kings' 9th sellout of the season. And the Kings trying to battle their way back into this game. They're down by a goal with 16:46 to go in the third.
And Barry Bauer always says that shift after a goal is the most important shift of the game. So once again, I think the Kings fighting hard, digging deep to get back into the game. They come right back with that goal. Again, unselfish and smart. Michel Petit, the defenseman, with his head up.
Kings came back a minute 14 after the Jets had the 2-goal lead, and Yannick Perreault brought the Kings back to within 1. Here's Tocchet with the wraparound. He scores! Rick Tocchet ties the game. His second of the night, and it's 5-5.
Rick Tocchet holding on, and Habby Boulin, the goaltender, no doubt left his post too quick. Rick Tocchet was holding on to the puck behind the net. We'll see it right from the face-off. The Kings control the puck. Tocchet went to the net originally, then to the behind the net. Watch the goaltender. Habby Boulin, look, he looks left, and Rick Tocchet is coming right. So the goaltender fooled on the play. You'll see it perfectly here. Habby Boulin, look at Tocchet, just shift down behind the net. That's the open spot. Goaltender goes one way. His legs are wide open. Rick Tocchet ties it for the Kings.
The Kings get 2 goals in 43 seconds to tie it up. Tocchet from Conacher and Quinn. Here's Gretzky. He's looking for his third. He's behind the net. Pass up the middle. McSorley, and a save by Habby Boulin. McSorley tried to go to the glove side of the Russian goaltender, and he got stopped. Now the Winnipeg Jets with it. Stefan Keitow, right point. Kings have come from 2 goals down to tie. Jamnov shoots, save. Jamnov shoots. He scores his 4th of the game. And the Winnipeg Jets lead 6-5. Well, we told you, these are the 2 worst defensive teams in the league. Get ready for a lot of goals, and there have been 11 in the game.
Too many chances, no doubt, for Zhamnov. He had 2 or 3 whacks at it. On the entry, Jamnov always seems to find a way to get the puck. It's controlled and really not necessarily a great scoring chance. Granato comes back, gets beat on the quick step, then Jamnov just a half step ahead of Tony Granato. The left-hand shot, Jamnov. Watch him on the right side. You'll see how much better his angle is. First shot and the long rebound. He jumps right there, throws it home just in the 7-hole. Winnipeg Jets, 2 and 3 chances. They lead again, 6-5.
So the Kings get 2 and 43 seconds to tie it and can't hang on even for a minute. And they trail now, 6-5. Here's Burridge. To Perreault, he shoots wide to the left. Puck comes out to the right side, and Petit can't hold the bouncing puck in. Comes back out to center. Burridge with it. Now Burridge steps across the line, left side, chases it in deep. Back in there is Neil Wilkinson to drop it off in the corner. Plenty of time left. Plenty of time for more goals. As we have 15-20 to go in the 3rd period, and diving was Wilkinson to get it to center to Ty Domi. Domi drives it back behind the net. Grant Fuhr stops it there. That was the first shot on Fuhr. Well, Jamnov had a couple of whacks at it there and scored. So it's 6-5. Puck comes off to Ty Domi and comes up to center ice, and back to get it is Conacher. His pass to Quinn. He kicked it ahead, but the Jets break it up and send it all the way down the Kings zone.
You saw the Jets' extra attention there on the last change to make sure the player coming on the ice did not touch the puck. Earlier in the game, the Jets called for too many men on the ice.
And we get an icing call here. 14:39 to go in the 3rd. 6-5 Jets.
Well, let's take time here to take a look at this date in NHL history back to 1989 when Bernie Nichols scores a hat trick. Goals 68, 69, and 70. That's a record for the Los Angeles Kings. Also his 8th shorthanded goal this season. Another team record. Of course, Bernie Nichols hot once again this year. 22 goals already this year for the Chicago Blackhawks.
This is the 2nd time that a visiting player has had a 4-goal game against the Kings. That man you spoke of, Bernie Nichols, had one for Chicago against the Kings this year. Here is Dan Quinn. Quinn to the left side. He had his pass taken away, and the Jets come back to center. The Kings had tied the game, and 35 seconds later gave up the goal to Jamnov that put Winnipeg back ahead. Now the puck comes up on a play into the Winnipeg bench. 14:14 to go in the 3rd period. 6-5 Winnipeg. Now at center ice we get Keith Tkachuk wrapped up with Rick Tocchet, but I think Tockett's more upset at who? Dave Manson?
Looks like Dave Manson is just trying to get into it too. You see Manson with the referee. The referee has the orange armbands. There's McSorley getting involved. Remember early in the game, McSorley involving himself with Tkachuk. Tkachuk threw a hard check on Wayne Gretzky. A couple of tough guys right there looking at each other. Bob, they're deciding right now whether they want to get involved or stay on the ice. 14-14 remaining here in the 3rd period. It looks like Tocchet of the Kings is going to the box. I think he'll be joined by Tkachuk. So we'll get some penalties right here, perhaps roughing unsportsmanlike conduct, something like that. That happened well after the whistle.
There's Keith Tkachuk in the box. Well, on our Break the Ice show tonight, we talked a lot about Jamnov. Jim and I featured him when we came on the air at 7:30 before the play-by-play. Do we know how to pick him or what?
I think the stats coming into the game gave us a little bit of a head start, but he's been so consistent for the Winnipeg Jets. And Bob, he is a marked man, yet he comes out of the dark areas on the ice so quick. Like I mentioned before, North Americans usually play the stop-and-go game. The European influence on the game has been circles, never stop. And Jamnov really never stops on the ice, so he's supporting the puck, and he's there at top speed.
Alexi Zhamnov, he's 24 years old, number 5 pick of the Winnipeg Jets. Here's Granato dropping it for Gretzky. Gretzky across the line, looks for help, peels back, pass in front, broken up by Teppo Numminen. Numminen back to center to Zhamnov. Zhamnov to King-Pal, and a save by Fuhr. The rebound bounced off a King right back to him. Looked like a hit Petit. Now Jamnov gives it off to Igor Korolev. Korolev tried to come in the center. Zhamnov with it again. Zhamnov drops it off to Teppo Numminen. Kings are down 6-5. 13.5 minutes to go in the third. And Petit back in to get it. The scouting report on Jamnov is that, you know, he's overshadowed by Teemu Selanne for one. He plays in a small market city in Winnipeg and doesn't get a lot of recognition around the NHL. But he is putting on a show here tonight. 4 goals for Alexi Zhamnov. The other scouting report, and I've got a note here, on any given night he can be the best player on the ice. This is that given night. Kittal throws it down in deep, and back to get it is Sidor back behind the net. 13 minutes to go in the third period. 4-on-4 skating situation because Tkachuk and Tocchet got 2 minutes each for roughing. Puck is back in the Winnipeg zone, and now here is Oleg Mikulchik. Sends it to the King line, broken up by Sidor. Over to McSorley, back to Sidor. 20 seconds left to go in the 4-on-4. Conacher across the line to Shewchuk, to Sidor. Sidor shoots! Deflected wide. Picked up by Shewchuk in deep to Sidor. Sidor tried to throw it in front, knocked down, and picked up by Teemu Selanne. Selanne takes his time with it. 4 seconds left in the coincidental minor penalties, and now both teams are back at full strength. Conacher in front of the King bench. John Druce with it now. Druce up the center, gets it to Tocchet. Tocchet across the line. Right side, Druce. Druce shoots, save. Knocked down by Habe Bulin into the corner. And he had McSorley in deep with him. Puck taken by Stefan Quintal. He clears the center. Ty Domi on the right wing. He's cut off as he came across the blue line by Chris Snell. And Marty McSorley back to get it. 11:45 to go in the third.
Solid play there by Chris Snell. He just takes Domi out of the play, slowly running the forward out of room, then finishing his check.
Yannick Perreault, right side around Eagles. Perreault to Burridge, and he shot it wide to the left. Randy Burridge pulled the trigger and just shot it wide to the left goal post. Puck comes back to the King line. Petit with it. Over to Yannick Perreault. 6-5, Winnipeg leading here in the third period. Puck comes up to Ty Domi. Domi, his pass, broken up by Snell to Granato. Granato's pass, intercepted, 2-on-1. Quintal drops it back to Emerson. He shoots, knocked away. Back behind the net. I don't know if Fuhr got a piece of it or not, and it hits the back of the net. Looked like it went off the arm of Fuhr. We'll be back.
Near this spot, cold beer is being born. Choice grain and hops are brewed with cold Rocky Mountain water, then aged at near freezing temperatures. Finally, our beers are prepared, packaged, and shipped cold, direct to your hometown. From Colorado, the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia, or Shelby County in Tennessee. Cold beer from Coors. It kind of has a ring to it.
Looks like the perfect house. Everything that you've always wanted. And some problems that may surprise you. Well, that's why you need a realtor. You see, realtors know what to look for and how to avoid big mistakes. They'll even help find the right financing, the kind that you get at Great Western. You know, buying a home is tricky. So let Great Western and your realtor help, because without them, it's real easy to get fooled.
Public figure and executive protection, threat assessment, and investigative services, West Coast Detectives, North Hollywood, California.
The crowd urging on the Kings. They're down by a goal with 11:06 to go here in the third period. Here's Petit to center ice, sends it across the line, and back to get it. Numminen sends it up on the right side, but not out. Cowie with a shot. Almost looked like it hit the head of Lacroix in front of the net. Cleared all the way back down into the King zone, and Dan Fuhr, who's come on here in the third period. 1:25 into the period, replacing Kelly Rudy. Sent it to the blue line, and now down the right side, Jamnov looking again. He shoots, he scores! What a move! His 5th of the game! What a play by Jamnov! Went to the left, tucked it back on the right. 5 goals in the game. And it's 7-5 Winnipeg.
Jamnov using a move I think most players only try in practice. He leans with his body one way to the left. The transition game, turnover in the neutral zone. It's killed the Kings tonight. Watch him move all the way to his left, and with one hand on the stick, he uses total advantage of his reach. There's the turnover, neutral zone, Zhamnov all the way. Another look at it, Bob. Like I say, players try this one in practice, and really, the skill comes through right there. He protects the puck. His entire body is moving one way, the puck the other. 5 goals on the night. Alexi Jamnov puts the Jets in front, 7-5.
Korolev and Drake with the assist at 9:27. And you may not be happy about it, folks, but you are seeing quite a display by that man. And you know the other note I have on him? The coaches have been begging him to shoot more.
You can't help but shoot when you're on a breakaway like that. He just went to that play. Like I said, Bob, that's so much skill, so much confidence. Any given night is tonight. There's no doubt Jamnov controlling the entire game.
This is the first 5-goal game in the NHL this season. Alexei Jamnov getting his 5th. There have been some 4-goal games, as we told you. Now the Winnipeg Jets get it up on the left side to Chris King. And back down to the King blue line. This ties the Jet record set by Willie Lindstrom on March 2nd of 1982 of 5 goals in a game. What a display by Alexei Zhamnov. He's got 3 of them in the 3rd period here alone. Quinn drives it in and a save by Javi Bulin. Puck comes along the boards on the left side and dug out there and centered in front. It deflects toward the goaltender as Sador threw it in front. And Javi Bulin makes the stop.
There's Archie, the red-headed Russian. That's what his teammates call him. We'll update the NHL scoring right now because Zhamnov just happens to have 5 goals tonight. Lindros leads everyone 52 points, and Zhamnov now clearly in 3rd spot, 5 points ahead of Bernie Nichols. We've seen so much skill, we've seen power, but it's almost like Zhamnov, Bob, at all times. He's gliding out there. He's jumping on loose pucks, but he doesn't have to start and stop. He just continues with that graceful skating. He picks up the puck at full speed and then does his magic.
You know, I mentioned Bernie Nichols had 4 against the Kings. I forgot Sergei Fedorov had 4 against the Kings in Detroit. The other 4 goal scorers, Nichols has done it twice, Fedorov once, Luke Robitaille once, but this is the only 5-goal game by a player in the NHL this season. And Dallas Drake and Igor Korolev have 4 assists apiece. Now, earlier this year, we had told you that the line that was so good for Winnipeg was Zhamnov, Solani, and Tkachuk. And they've split it up to put Drake and Korolev on that line. And I would say probably they'll keep it together.
That's a good point, Bob. You might be a coach.
Oh, yeah. Up the middle, shot wide by Burridge. And the puck taken by the Jets and cleared to center. 5 goals by Alexei Zhamnov of Winnipeg. What a night. 7-5, Winnipeg leading. Kings aren't out of it yet. Puck comes up to center ice. Here's Nelson Emerson ahead to Teemu Solani. Saved by Grant Fuhr. Solani with his first good chance of the night. And he gets stopped by Fuhr. 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd period. Time enough for plenty more goals for these 2 teams. Digging along the boards is Keith Tkachuk and Nelson Emerson of Winnipeg. Tkachuk being whacked from behind by Yannick Perreault, and he's shaken up.
Looks like he got poked in the eye or something like that. I don't think it was Lacroix from behind, but something happened. All of a sudden, Tkachuk reached up into his face, reached for his eyes. He couldn't really see.
Burridge with it, but offside called against the Kings. 7-5, Jets.
Lots of flights have always been a hallmark of Southwest Airlines. We fly to suit your convenience rather than making you show up to suit our convenience. So if you're through with your appointment early or something holds you up, with Southwest Airlines, you don't have to worry because there are so many flights that you can simply go when you want to go, return when you want to return. It's a great asset in your business life, but also it's important for your personal life. And it's another reason why Southwest is the low-fare airline.
If it seems like you're always putting money into your luxury car, you might want to take note of a recent study. Based on projected cost of ownership from maintenance to depreciation, the Lexus ES was named the best overall value in its class. So drive an ES instead of the money pits. To save money down the road, see your Southern California Lexus dealer.
Face-off is coming up with 8:30 to go in the third period, and the Jets lead it 7-5. The Kings had tied it at the 3:22 mark on a goal by Tocchet. 35 seconds later, Zhamnov put him ahead, and then he scored again. Face-off outside the blue line, and it comes back to Sador. Over to McSorley, poke checked away. Neil Wilkinson chasing it down. Left side, McSorley getting back. Wilkinson shoots and a save by Pure. And Wilkinson taken hard into the boards by McSorley. He is slow getting up, lost his stick, but he's back on his feet, and the Kings dig it out. Wilkinson paid for poking it away from Marty and then getting a shot. He takes a run at McSorley along the boards and just missed him. Here's Wilkinson, right side shoots. It's deflected wide. Puck flipped up in the air and caught by Grant Fuhr. Conacher to center for the Kings. Conacher sends it across the line as he got stopped at the blue line. Kings hold it in. Here on the left wing side, Kevin Brown. His backhander is high and wide. Petit with it for the Kings. Petit on the right side to Brown behind the net. Tried to roll it in front. McCall backhander. Save. Loose puck. Score! Michel Petit was in front. Kevin Brown was there, and Brown got his stick on it. The Kings now trail 7-6.
It seems like the Jets, when they score, it's on attack on the rush. When the Kings score, they're taking the puck from behind the Winnipeg Jets goal. Simple, innocent-looking play. There's Petit keeping it in deep. One jump to the front of the net. One backhand by Lacroix. Look at Kevin Brown, number 8. The left side of your screen. He was behind the net. Similar situation to Rick Tocchet's goal. The play starting behind. There's Brown starting it. The bouncing puck. And you're a hidden player when you're behind the net like that. No one picks up Kevin Brown, and he has a wide open side of the net on the backhand. Kings right back in this game.
Brown with his second of the year. Puck is in the Winnipeg zone. Korolev digs it out. Eric Lacroix and Michel Petit assist on the goal at 12:27. 13 goals in the game tonight. Kings down by a goal. Up to center ice, here's Gretzky. Gretzky leads it ahead to Granato. Tips it across the line. He and Numanen go for it. Granato knocks Numanen down. Eric Lacroix comes barreling in. Puck is loose to Gretzky. Gretzky flipped it in the corner, reaches out, tried to control it. Gets it to Granato. In front, Lacroix, a save. Rebound. Lacroix gets a shot wide. Ave Bulin made the first save with his chest on Eric Lacroix. And here comes Jamnov. He gets it away to Sador. Sador to Yannick Perreault. Comes across the line. Lost to Derek. Comes back out to center. Solani chases it down, but the Kings with it. And Perreault drives it behind the net. 6:26 to go. The scoring probably isn't over with yet. The Kings hope not. They're down by a goal at 7-6. There have been 6 goals scored here in the third period. In front and a save by the King goaltender Fuhr on Teemu Solani. Can't take your eyes off of this action for a second. You'll miss about 4 shots. Here comes Solani indeed. He's checked there, and we get an offside pass called against Winnipeg.
Some beautiful goals tonight, some weird goals tonight. The bounce of the puck as a goaltender. Both goalies tonight, and the third goaltender, of course, Kelly Rudy started for the Kings. Look at this innocent. Daryl Sador, I think he thought it may have been icing there. Just went off his stick on the backhand, and just at the last second, you saw Grant Fuhr go with a poke check. Watch Fuhr, not here, but right there, he's falling back into his net. He reached out with a stick hand and poked it off the stick of Teemu Solani. So as soon as you think everything's in control, it doesn't work for the Jets and the Kings. An entertaining game. Jets lead the Kings 7-6.
5:57 left to go in the third period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Kings home Monday night against Edmonton. Dave Taylor night. You'll see the ceremonies before the game right here on Prime Sports. Thursday night, Dallas here. That's tote bag night. First 12,000 fans get a Kings mesh tote bag courtesy of the California Department of Recycling. That's next Thursday against Dallas. Tickets for those games available for Box Office and Ticketmaster. Quinn to Petit. He got hit with the puck in the face and goes down to the ice. Michel Petit had the puck bounce up and hit him in the face. And King trainer Peter Demers out in a hurry. So Michel Petit still bent over. And he's going to go over to the bench. So Michel Petit going to get a rest over on the bench with 5:52 left to go in the third. We'll take a look at it again. The puck bounces up and hits him in the face. Petit on the right side of your screen. Now right in the middle there. And with the puck bouncing up and hits him. Puck taken by the Winnipeg Jets up the center, and Neil Wilkinson backhands it down into the corner. Played there for a moment by Sador, but the Jets dig it out. Ty Domi. Domi down in the corner. Back to the right point to Manson. Both teams at full strength. Puck comes around to Sador. Kings down by a goal at 7-6. It deflects into McSorley, and McSorley clears it up across the blue line. It deflects back into the Winnipeg zone, and Manson back to get it. He chopped it along the boards, and Kings will be offside, and now they touch up and play continues. Here comes Jamnov. 5 goals in the game tonight. Don't let him hang out of the puck. He gives it to Domi. Domi to Jamnov, and a save made by Fuhrer. He almost had his 6th. A deflection right in the slot on the pass from Domi. Now in deep. Stefan Quintal sends it around to Dallas Drake. Drake stopped as he came across the blue line. 4:54 to go in the third. Puck comes on the right side. Taken by Granato. Granato to Lacroix. Diving, and he knocked the net loose. Checked by Stefan Quintal, and we'll have a face-off.
Is getting there faster always the best way to get there? What if just once everyone in your family was going in the same direction? Why is it you forget your neighbor's name, but you remember that train ride you took when you were 5? And why do the simplest things, when seen from a train, fill us with wonder? There's something about a train that's magic.
You got the winning color.
I change the oil every 3,000 miles or so. I've always used Pennzoil. It's a quality product.
Now with the revolutionary Penn-Star molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts. Works like liquid ball bearings.
It's showtime, baby! Play Pennzoil's 4 to the Final Four. Winners up for 2 to the Final Four. 86,000 other prizes. Get details where you find Pennzoil. It'll be awesome, baby!
Buy a case of Pennzoil, win a trip to the Final Four. Details at Cragen Auto Parts.
Give and go works in basketball, also works in hockey. Zhamnov dishes off to Domi. And look at Zhamnov. He just took one spin, redirects the puck very quick. Grant Fuhrer, the Kings goaltender, makes the save. 5 goals tonight. Last player with 6 was Daryl Sittler of Toronto. Go back to 1976. That night, Daryl Sittler, 6 goals and 4 assists for 10 points.
Jamnov has 7 shots on goal and scored on 5 of them, and the 7th was that deflection there. Could have very easily put that one in. Here on the right side is Granato. Winnipeg zone, Kings are down by a goal in front to Lacroix. He can't jam it in. Granato shoots. He gets knocked down, and play continues. Puck went into the corner. The referee, Lance Roberts, was giving the washout signal, just, I guess, to make sure everybody knew the puck is not in there. It was headed off into the corner. 4:13 to go in the third period. The most goals ever against the King team. 5 by Alexi Jamnov, and a hand pass called against the Kings.
4:06 remaining in the third period. Let's take a time to give you the answer. Discover Card Trivia. A current National Hockey League general manager once played for the Winnipeg Jets. Well, it's Big Serge Savard, now general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. He played for the Jets for 1 season, 82 to 83, and Savard, as I mentioned, an outstanding performer in his NHL days, not only with the Jets, but with the Montreal Canadiens. One of the big 3 defensemen, Guy Lapointe, Larry Robinson, and Serge Savard.
Rob Cowie drives it into the Winnipeg zone. It is cleared back out to center ice. Bounces across the King line. Chased down by Simoni. Now to center ice. Yannick Perreault. His pass broken up by Tkachuk. 3:49 to go in the third. Kings are down 7-6 to the Winnipeg Jets. Puck is flipped high in the air, and Grant Fuhrer gloves it for Cowie. Now up on the right side to John Drews. Drews checked there by Tkachuk. Throws it in, knocked away by the goaltender Javi Bulin. And it is cleared back on the right side to Nelson Emerson. He throws it down in deep at Petit. Back together. 3:27 to go. Third period. Kings down by a goal. Here is Petit. His pass tipped to the blue line by Drews and taken away by Manson. Eagles gives it to Domi. Domi to Eagles. Kings take it away. John Drews with it. Drews has passed to Conacher. He's got a step on Domi. Conacher left side, driving in deep. Conacher behind the net, chased by Vital up the middle. Sador! Save, score! Sador on the rebound! Ties the game! 7-7.
Similar situation to the last Kings couple of goals. The Winnipeg Jets back-checking, but back-checking too far. And in behind the play, coming from behind, the defenseman jumping right into the middle. And you gotta love this game, unless you're a coach. Daryl Sador spots the opening. Look at how wide open, parts the sea. Sador one chance, the goaltender with a save, and Sador has a wide open net on the rebound. Ted Carter controlled all the way. You see number 20, Domi, trying to get back in. He was the winger who did not cover the point man, and Daryl Sador is a happy man. 14 goals scored tonight. I don't think that's going to be it.
There's still 2:54 to go in regulation. Sador with his fourth from Conacher and Drews at 16:57. And the game is tied 7-7. Puck comes on the right side to McSorley. Shoots and a save by Javi Bulin. Here's Snell. Shoots, deflected in front. Behind the net. Quinn to Snell. Hit the side of the net. Quinn again. Quinn put it behind the net to Conacher. Conacher right side. Sent it right through the slot, and the Kings chase it down. 2:20 to go. Third period. Jets with it. Right side. Wilkinson forced it himself out to center. Neil Wilkinson still with it. Into the Kings zone. Spins. Tried to get a shot. Kings took it away, but they need a line change.
Nice coverage there by Dan Quinn, not giving up on the play as the centerman on the ice, working hard to get all the way back.
In town with a shot. Deflected up on a play off of Grant Fuhrer. 2 minutes to go. 7-7.
Kings Hockey is brought to you by Amtrak, with over 500 destinations nationwide for you to choose from. And by Pennzoil, the motor oil that works like liquid ball bearing.
Well, this game maybe not as high scoring as a basketball game, but tomorrow, 6:30 p.m., Shaq comes to town. The Lakers versus the Orlando Magic. Don't forget, Lakers tonight, 6 p.m.
Who says there's not enough scoring in hockey? If this were football, it'd be 49-49 right now. 2 minutes to go in regulation. 7-7 the score. Jamnov is out again. He's got 5 goals tonight. He's number 10 for the Winnipeg Jets. Kings with it. Pass to Gretzky. Gretzky's got 2 goals. He sends it into the Winnipeg zone and back to get it. Teppo Numminen. Minute 48 to go in the third. Here's Cowie. Cowie drives it ahead, but it deflects up into the crowd with a minute 42 to go in regulation. You know, in 1993-94, Zhamnov spent 3 weeks here in Los Angeles at the Kerlan Jove Clinic rehabilitating a disc in his back. They did a great job with him. Face off outside the blue line. Gretzky back to Petit. Slaps it around the boards left side. Lacroix into Gretzky. Gretzky tried to throw it in front. Knocked away by Teppo Numminen with a minute 29 left to go in the third. Cowie at center, hounded by Dallas Drake. Drake gave it away, and here's Petit. His pass knocked down by Jamnov, and Petit drives to the length of the ice. This is going to be icing against the Kings. Quintal back to get it. Minute 12 left to go. Don't forget press box after the game. 28 of the 30 minutes will be taken with showing the goals in this game.
Michel Petit icing the puck the last play. I think the reason he iced it, Jamnov was on the ice, so get the puck down the ice, get a face-off. Maybe the Jets will change lines, and they do right here. But certainly it's been an up and down, back and forth game. Both teams coming in. The highest goals against average in the NHL, the Kings. Second worst are the Winnipeg Jets. And the big guns for both teams taking over, but the positional play at times something to be desired. So I'm sure the coaches are going to wait till the end of this game. Hey, they're going to take a point or two, whatever happens, but they're going to go to the video to try to correct a lot of mistakes.
And off the draw now, the puck comes to the corner to Keith Tkachuk. He gave it up the middle, but intercepted by John Druce. Sends it into the Winnipeg zone. 1 minute left to go in regulation. 7-7 the score, and we may be headed to overtime. At least in overtime we know there's only going to be one goal, if any. Here at the right side is Emerson. Fires it down in deep behind the net. Taken there by McSorley. Around the right side, Kings come to center. Here's Randy Burge. Burge across the line with John Druce. To Druce in deep and just out of his reach. Now Druce with it right side. Trying to give it to Burge. Tipped to the blue line and out to center ice. Taken there by Sador. Sador tied the game for the Kings at the 16:57 mark of the third period. Abibulin, the goaltender, gets it to Manson. His pass off the boards. Kings have to touch up to get onside. Now to center ice. Here's Zhamnov. Zhamnov stopped there. Zhamnov with it again. Zhamnov right side. Taken there by Drake. He shoots and it's knocked down in front. Loose puck. Kings with it. 3 seconds to go in regulation. Shot by Tocchet. Save, and that's the end of regulation. We'll go to a 5-minute sudden death overtime. 7-7 the score at the end of regulation.
Difficult situation for that man. Grant Fury had to come in and spell Kelly Rudy. There's the head coach and general manager of the Winnipeg Jets, John Paddock. Well, he sees those three players play every night. Tkachuk, Solani, and Jamnov. Before the game, he talked about the 3 stars.
Well, they have, between the 3 of them, they have, I think, everything you'd be looking for in a line. They're all top players. One has a great speed and great goal-scoring touch. The other winger's a big, strong, power forward leader type who scored 40 goals last year. And the center iceman is just coming into his own, and he has tremendous playmaking skills, instincts in the game. And this year is now starting to shoot the puck like we've asked him to, and that's been evidenced in his goal totals.
Well, he is dead on that comment, that's for sure. As we are at the end of regulation and in overtime this year, neither of these teams have been able to win. The Kings have 6 ties. The Jets have lost twice. They lost to St. Louis 5-4, and they lost to San Jose 6-5, and they have 5 ties. The Kings ties, 2 against St. Louis, 1 against Toronto, Detroit, Calgary, and Anaheim.
Barry Melrose, I'm sure, Bob, will put someone on Jamnov, not necessarily a shadow, but Jamnov is going to get a lot of ice time here in the overtime period, as will Wayne Gretzky of the Kings. Gretzky with 2 goals on the night. But certainly Jamnov, this situation, you know he's on fire. John Paddock said he's coming into his own. I think that's past tense. He has come into his own. He's playing so well, controlling the puck. And like Paddock said, he's a great playmaker too. But I think that option of his great passing made him a great scorer. The defensemen don't know what to do, whether to just take away the pass or the shot.
Michel Petit over there with the ice bag on his face. He got hit with a puck. The Kings had 16 shots in the third period. Winnipeg had 9. For regulation, the Kings have outshot the Jets 38-29. 7 goals were scored in the third period. 3 of them by Alexi Jamnov. And you know, they said Jamnov, they questioned his work habits last year and his conditioning. They said that he was never in real good shape.
And Bob, I think Korolev has a lot to do with that. His buddy, number 23 of the Jets, coming over this season from St. Louis. It's made Jamnov feel that much more comfortable. He's more confident. He has a buddy he can talk to all the time. You have to remember, that's that culture shock. You come over from Russia, yeah, it's the same game. It's ice hockey, but you have to adjust in other areas. And now Jamnov really doing everything for the Winnipeg Jets. I mentioned the Kings will pay extra attention to him. Not necessarily one-man shadowing. You just have to know when he's on the ice.
Good news for the Kings up in Vancouver as the overtime starts here. Vancouver leading Edmonton 5-1 in the third. Edmonton trying to catch the Kings in the playoff race. Vancouver trying to stay ahead of the Kings. They started the night 2 points ahead. Puck is chased down in by Dallas Drake. Drops it off to Zhamnov. Jamnov with it. In deep. Behind the net. Wrap around by Corlett. Save. Jamnov got to the puck, but he got checked by Sador. And the Kings clear it out to center ice. Renato touches it, and offside called against the Kings.
Jamnov had a chance. Daryl Sador, the Kings, was all over him. The give and go, the quick touch passes by Jamnov makes him so effective because you don't know when he's going to hang on there. He rotates out of the corner, dishes off. Now watch Sador, turns his back for 1 second. Right in the middle of your slot. Stop her right here if you can. Look at Sador setting up to take Jamnov. He'll get the stick between the legs and neutralize the forward, locks up the sticks. Great play there by Daryl Sador, paying extra attention to Jamnov.
Winnipeg out of a playoff spot right now. If they win tonight, they're within 2 points of the Kings. And within 2 points of getting into a playoff spot. Puck comes across the line, and they'll be within 3 of the Kings and 2 points of a playoff spot. So, important game here for Winnipeg tonight.
Bob, interesting situation. The Vancouver Canucks, they had that team meeting the day before the game against the Kings. Since then, really 3 convincing victories. They haven't won yet tonight, but leading 5-1 against Edmonton.
Petit at center ice, and Randy Gillen came by trying to steal the puck, didn't get it. Petit to Tocchet. Tocchet to Quinn. His shot blocked and taken by Neil Wilkinson. Now to Manson. First team to score will win it. We're in sudden overtime. One shot by Manson, saved by Grant Fuhr. Puck taken by Snell. 7-7 the score with 3:30 to go in overtime. Snell zigzagging up to the neutral zone and gives it to Conacher, right side. Conacher, he's got Tocchet with him along with Yannick Perreault, but the Kings can't get a good shot or a shot, and it comes back into the Kings zone to Sador. Over to McSorley. McSorley checked by Eagles and walked back a step or two. Cleared off the boards, back to the Kings zone. Now Sador moves it up to center ice, batted away. Here's Stefan Quintal. Quintal backhands it into the Kings zone. Grant Fuhr leads it for Sador. 2:55 to go in overtime. 7-7 the score. Perreault couldn't play it off the boards. Bruce chases it in, but Kepler Newman moves it up to center ice to Nelson Emerson. Emerson across the line. His pass stolen by McSorley. 2:40 to go in overtime. McSorley to center ice. Slaps it into the Winnipeg zone. Puck is behind the net. Sent up around the boards to the right point and out to center. McSorley shoots it back in. Kings have to get onside. Now Rob Cowie back at the King line. His pass off the board. Taken away by Korlev. He's got Jamnov in front. Can't get it to him. Puck taken back behind the net. Wrap around. Intercepted by Gretzky. Gretzky quickly up to Granato. Granato to center. Granato back to Gretzky. He's looking with a half trick. Gretzky pulls up. His pass to Granato. Batted behind the net. Taken by Jamnov. He gives it away to Granato. Granato into Lacroix. Lacroix tied up by Jamnov. And over to get it now and flip it up in the crowd is Dave Manson. 2:01 to go in sudden death overtime. 7-7 our score here. Coming up Monday night, Dave Taylor night. The Edmonton Oilers are here. You'll see it on Prime Sports 7:30, starting at 7 with Break the Ice. Same Thursday as Dallas comes in. And then the Kings Friday at Calgary on KTLA Channel 5, starting at 6:30. That's the next 3 games on the Kings schedule.
Bob, it actually appears right now that both teams are a little tired. A lot of the play kind of ragged in the neutral zone. Neither team being allowed to make cross-ice pass or even a 10-foot pass stick to stick. Trying to get some kind of offense going. You know you're going to think defense first in this situation in overtime. Although the Kings at home, again, you have that little bit of pressure. Sometimes you think win. And I think that's the way they should think.
We want to welcome all of you from Hockey Night in Canada joining us now, and a backhander just wide. Alexi Zhamnov of the Winnipeg Jets has 5 goals in the game tonight. The score is 7-7. We've got 1:48 left to go in sudden death overtime. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Shot by Randy Gillen, deflected by Petit up into the crowd. 7-7 the score. And again, we welcome the viewers on Hockey Night in Canada. They have joined us here for the final 143 of sudden death overtime. The big story here tonight, Alexi Zhamnov of the Winnipeg Jets, 5 goals in the game on 7 shots. He has really put on a show. We are 7-7 in sudden death overtime. The Jets had a 7-5 lead. Here's a shot deflected in front off of Eric Lacroix. Dallas Drake with it. Newman got the shot. Now Drake in the right corner. Kings zone. 7-7 to score. Wayne Gretzky's got 2 goals in the game tonight. And the Kings drive to the length of the ice. And it's going to be touched up by Teppo Newman for an icing call.
Not a bad play there by Eric Lacroix just to chip the puck out of the zone. He blocked a shot earlier. Jamnov controlling throughout the evening, jumping on loose pucks, coming from behind with speed. He made a great move on Grant Fuhr for his last goal. He's been so effective. And once again, he came into tonight's game as a marked man. The Kings know that he's hot, but his team is supporting him right now. They have the confidence, and Jamnov is taking the lead. In overtime, not much happening offensively. Both teams a little tentative. They don't want to try anything too risky.
Jamnov got 1 goal in the first period, his 18th, then got his 19th goal of the year in the second period, then got 3 in the third period. Gretzky has 2 goals for the Kings. Rick Tocchet has 2 goals for the Kings. And the score is 7-7. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox on Prime Sports, welcoming all of you watching on Prime Sports tonight and on Hockey Night in Canada. Nice to have you with us. We have 1:21 to go in sudden death overtime. And off the draw, Jamnov against the Kings Quinn, and McSorley clears it to center, but it bounces past Tocchet, and we'll get another icing call here.
Bob, that's the second time tonight the Kings have tried that set play off the end zone face-off. McSorley was out there for the Kings. What they're looking for is a long pass up the middle. The Winnipeg Jets got back. Both defensemen for the Jets moved back into the middle of the ice and really protected well. One of the few times in hockey you can set a play up. Off the face-off, Rick Tocchet, not in your screen right now. He's going right to center ice. You saw no hesitation there by McSorley. It does not click on the pass, but the worst thing can happen right here, missed pass, an icing call, another end zone face-off deep beside Grant Fuhr.
So the Kings flirting with danger here. Alexei Jamnov is out to take the draw against Dan Quinn, and Quinn wins the draw to McSorley. McSorley to Tocchet. Tocchet's got Conacher and Quinn with him. Here's Tocchet to center ice. He's looking for the hat trick. Tocchet right side shoots it wide. 1 minute to go in sudden death overtime. Sador shoots, save. Rebound batted back out to center ice. Daryl Sador tied this game with 3:03 remaining after the Kings were down by 2 at 7-5. Kevin Brown made it 7-6. Then Sador tied it. Long shot by Manson is wide, and Grant Fuhr sends it around the board to the right side. Fuhr came in the third period in relief of Cali Rudy, the starter. Puck comes to Manson to the right point. 30 seconds left to go in sudden death overtime. Puck is cleared up to the blue line to Tocchet. Tocchet's pass taken away by Manson. He looked dead tired just getting to the puck and throwing it up to center ice. Now Conacher to Sador. 15 seconds to go in overtime. Tocchet drives it into the Winnipeg zone. Nikolai Habibulin left it there. Conacher couldn't get to it. Tocchet tried. Tocchet put it behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky in front to Tocchet, but just out of his reach. At the blue line, Sador throws it in. Conacher was alone in front. 1 second to go, and that's the end of sudden death overtime. The Kings had 3 shots in overtime. Winnipeg had 1. 14 goals scored in the game tonight, and 5 by that man, Alexei Zhamnov. The game ends in a 7-7 tie, and now we'll go to the press box for a preview. Here's Randy Sparagi.
All right, coming up.